Red Bull and the audio. No, audio's not working on YouTube. Okay. I'll try and see if I can let average know. We've got audio problems. Well, no, thanks for letting us know. Yeah, let's see. So we're about to get started anytime soon. Okay, working now. That's
Working
good
now.
to see.
Good.
So let's see. I'm waiting for one more actually. Mers apparently. I don't know where he is at. Try and see if we can message him quickly. Examine just ping us or ping Gray in the meantime and let us know when you want to go. But yeah, we have a championship decider coming up very soon.
Let's see. I presume Merce is coming. I'm seeing that he's AFK in the VC, so I'm sure he just stepped away for a second. So,
Okay, yeah, I see tops. Said that. So in the meantime, we'll just go
okay,
through.
looks like we will be starting.
All right,
Okay,
is Mars in?
no, looks like he'll either have to just make it for the. He's been sent an invite. He'll have to just make it for the quali, or if not, he'll start from the back. I guess if he makes it just in time.
Okay. And just a word for examined if he is listening. See if we can get for the qualifying. See if we can get an onboard on either Fever or Pinkston. Those are the two.
I can do that.
In fighting for the chat. Okay, good stuff. It's always been a kick that we've had each
Yeah.
time. So,
Yeah, I can work on that.
okay, so are we ready to go? Are we ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it. We'll see you guys track side after this.
Damn, that was nice.
I wanna let my hair down while staring down your face. Wanna go till lights out. Take a ride back to my place. You watch your mind. If you don't know what this is, I tell them one by one, some one by one. Twist my wrist. Girls like this, move in the back, eyes on me. Ain't like that, just like this. Here for the night, do it by then. Just keep watching. Just keep watching. Just keep watching.
As usual, this is the final location of the final race in the real life World Championships, and it's the same in the Division 2 Championships as well. Here we go, we're straight into one-shot qualifying, and we focus on the one and only Red Bull, who is currently leading the championship by 13 points. On board with him entering turn 5, so he's entered a little bit early, so he's not decided for the early, late entry, and is now the fastest part of his circuit this year, 200 miles per hour and beyond. Let's see how he attacks. Turn 6 and 7. At a line, drives out,
Nails that chicane.
early as he can, and straight on DRS. And It's aiming through turn 8, through turn 9. It's long radio corner. This guy's bringing him a lot of grip. He's taking the tightest line that he can. And now coming out through 9, 10. He's straighten up for the turn 12, I should say. Turn 12. Now opens it, keeps the tighter line to his double left. Away from the curb, off camera, makes it awkward to find attraction. And off-road through the penultimate corner, finds your braking zone. You let the car roll in to the final corner and straighten up at 57 and his crosser for pole position, a 1:23.4 as FIFA arrives is forward on the grid. So he's starting at 1-2 and well, Cosmos on pole position. The one time we don't ride on board with a kick is the one time that he gets pole by a clear 0.2 of a second. How about that? It's always been top second on grid. Pinkston did not get a qualifying lap, so he will be starting 9th out of 9th. Fever Vibes in 3rd. So already advantage Fever, who already has 13 points, a 13-point lead on Pinkston. It's a showdown in Abu Dhabi. Fever leads the World Championship. He will be starting 3rd, Pinkston 9th. So he's got at least 6 cars to get through before he can start to battle and think and really consider the World Championship.
Well, this got interesting quick. It maybe I'm gonna guess probably track limits there for Pinkston that pushed a little too hard. Track limits for Pinkston went over by a centimeter as a quote from Pinkston there. So this world championship battle got much harder for Pinkston as to really give himself a chance. I think he has to come. I'll have to look at my note that I took the other day, but I think to give himself a chance, he really has to come first. Second is 9th, so it'd have to be a tough race there for him.
Icar's got away nicely. It's top. He's got a better launch, and he's inside. In turn 1 is side by side. Still through turns 1 and 2 and 3. And Corson's has got a better drive away out of turn 1. And Fever, everyone is clean away. Pinkston has gained a position that's on his teammate who wouldn't have battled so hard. So they come through all unscathed with no damage, it looks like. And Corson's from P1 is P1. He's causing a slipstream for every one of the cars behind. Got side-by-side action between FMJ and Baker. So let's see if they'll be committed. That's the half of FMJ, who is taking a position as the Fever gets a little wild. That's the RB actually a little bit wild out of turn 7 through 8 now and approaching 9. And the Mercedes of Pinkston is up another position, so he's taking advantage. He's kept it clean, and from 9th he's already up 4 positions to 5th place. Fever stays 3rd as we focus on Aqua Snipes in P6. He's right behind Pinkston and FMJ. There's already a second and more, nearly 2 seconds actually, between Fever Vibes in 3rd and FMJ in 4th place. We're focusing on Pinkston in 5th, who's got some battling and moving to do. He can overtake as much as he wants, but he needs to be significantly ahead of Fever Vibes in terms of the position. So we've got 20 laps to go, 20 laps in this race. A lot can happen as Pinkston goes through, and as FMJ looked like he went wide coming through turn 4, and Pinkston is through. FMJ, Pinkston, and Noodleman are side by side coming through turn 5, and still they are battling each other. So Pinkston is free of the cars behind them. It's got fresh air and better part of 3 seconds to make on Fever Vibes, who was ahead. Looked like BBB Baker was shaping up to make a move to take the inside of Snipes. I'm not sure if he's managed to pull it off or tuck back in. But this is 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place is Cosmos, Todd, and Fever Vibes. And Pinkston is drift by 3 seconds, but it is the long game that he'll have to play. in this race as Fever tries to move up the inside, tries to bully his way up the inside of top to turn turn 12. Not a place where you should really make a move unless you're really close. As he sustained damage, not quite, but Torb was surprised by that one. Fever taking an unnecessary risk as causing a set next fastest lap. So Fever trying to go for the race victory, surely. Looking at a move as aggressive as that, but doesn't need to take the risk. And it's Pinkston who needs to do all of the energy. Let's see if we can get Gray in on the commentary if he's
Yeah.
able to do so.
Very fortunate for Fever Vibes there to not have received damage there. I'm guessing must have just missed his breaking point and went right into the side of Blaine Torb. Good to see that both of those drivers haven't received damage off of that. But what it's done is actually Pinkston gained a second through that part of the track. So Fever might need to start looking into his mirrors very soon here as Pinkston is starting to put in some very solid laps here. So this might get pretty tight here right away.
And Torb looks like he's challenging Cosness for position. They were almost side by side around turn 9. But Cosness has kept the position. Torb stays second. Fever's dropped off quite a bit already, so much so that he's closer to Pinkston than he is to the McLaren ahead of him. Is Cosness, Torb, Fever, Pinkston, DJ Noderman, Aqua Snipes, BVB Baker, FMJ, and Picolis in 9th place. All 9 drivers will be scoring points if they finish the race, of course. For Pinkston, he could have had a better start, starting from 9th and up to 4th. So he just needs to play a long game, although he is generally gaining on his championship rival.
Yeah, almost heading down the long straight here, and Pinkston's going to get a slipstream all the way down here. Who had better battery management is going to be the question, and will he have DRS for the back straight is going. This will be interesting, as it looks like Fever's actually gaining on him down the main straight here, so maybe not DRS for him, even though the detection point is right there, as we saw always blame Torb. So this will be who's quicker through. And it does not look like Pinkston ended up getting DRS there. Blaine Torb with the DRS will get ahead of Cosness to take the lead of the race here in Abu Dhabi.
So move made for position. Pinkston, Cosness has had his position taken by Torb as Pinkston edges closer to Fever Vibes. It could be a straight shootout between the championship contenders anytime soon. Or every driver, I believe, is starting on the yellow mark, started on the yellow mark medium tires. So it'll be a question as to whether, or as to when each driver will decide to enter the pit lane for a sure thing one-stop strategy onto the hard mark tires. It'll be about laps 7, 8, 9, or even 10 if someone feels bold enough to extend their strategy and are confident enough to do so. But sector 3 is where there's a lot of where you feel a lot of the tire wear when it goes off. This was Fever's deep move from well back. Almost looked like he outbraked himself and decided, let me try and make a move so as not to just to take advantage, but didn't pay off. And yep, Torb keeps the position and keeps the lead for now as Cosness tries and gets back his position. Torb going pretty wide, actually, out of turn 14, I think that is. There might be track limits. We haven't had any track limits penalties given yet. Perhaps a few track limits warnings to some of the drivers. There are a few corners on this track well known for being places, including here turn 1, where you can easily bypass the white line and gets a track limits warning. We've seen it as become a theme throughout these league races in which the penalties rack up, the warnings rack up, and you end up getting penalties. And drivers have got double bigger amount of penalties, which has completely changed the outcome of the race. But here we're looking at this is the battle. This is Pinkston against Fever. This is the battle for third place. Because Pinkston doesn't decide to do so. He's gonna wait and measure up and perhaps save some of his battery, get the traction down, and straighten up as soon as he can. He's got DRS to try and assault Fever once again. Can he do so? He's got the overspeed. He's having a half look or quarter look at the inside overtake. I want to do it now. He hasn't got the overspeed to do so, not close enough. As we see BBB Baker switch positions with Aqua Snipes coming up to turn 9, or coming out of turn 9, I should say. So Pinkston is hanging on to the back of Fever. He'll be obviously wanting to make an overtaking move, but he doesn't want to risk it to damage the progress that he needs to make to win the race and to win the championship. He realistically needs to win the race, because even if Pinkston was to climb the positions and take the lead, if Fever was to fall down to 4th place, well, the driver was to fall down a position, meaning Fever would be 4th, that would still get Fever the world championship. As we got Cosmos must have spawned at turn 4, and that is a position gained by Fever and Pinkston. Cosmos has lost 2 positions. He must have had a half spin at least, and he's recovered back on track. So he was in the lead for the first 3 laps of the race, and now suffering as he's lost position, and as Fever has to go a little bit defensive with Pinkston right behind him now. Opting for the switch back. Pinkston trying to get on the throttle early. He's done nice to do so. Strained up earlier on the throttle. He's going to put back to DRS. Fever trims. Gonna kind of squeezing. Can Pinkston make the move around the outside? Who breaks latest?
Ooh.
And Fever is unable to do so. He's not taking the inside line. Pinkston taking the coastal road around the outside, but he managed to carry the speed. There's grip on the wide side. And Pinkston has the inside for the following 2 corners and has taken the position. Brilliant battle between the pair of them. I don't think they touched. It was close between the pair, but Pinkston has the position. He's gained on Fever. Now he has to chase the lead. Torb has a 3-second time penalty as Fever enters the pit lane on lap 7. Torb and FNJ have time penalties against the name, so Pinkston is looking for potential differential P1. He's close by as Pinkston, as Fever enters pit lane for a set of white marked hard tires.
Wow, that move, that was a very brave move there from Pinkston. We saw Oscar Piastri last year in Abu Dhabi make that move around the outside of Lando Norris, I believe, on the first lap. So a very brave move there from Pinkston, but he's put himself up to 2nd, but that won't quite be enough. He's going to have to catch Torb, to have a chance at this championship as long as Fever finishes. Because Pinkston finishes 2nd, that would mean Fever just has to finish the race to still become world champion. So he has to take 1st place, and Fever has to stay back in 9th here to have a chance, for Pinkston to have a chance, at the world championship.
Yes, he does. So what will Pinkston decide to do? Will he decide to pit in straight away? Fever pit in lap 7, as did FMJ as well. Is the undercut starting to work for Fever? They were very close together as Pinkston decides to enter the pit lane. Oh no, he's actually cut the corner. So he's entering the pit lane, went in way too hard, and it's cost him. He had to cut the corner, and now he's got a 3-second time penalty. So he tried to go in and make the position with too much pace, and he's too zealous with it, and now it's cost him 3-second time penalty against his name. So Fever just needs to keep it on track, keep it steady. He'll get track position surely later on as the pit stop take out. But for Pinkston, it's not quite going his way. P1 would be great for him. What he'd really like is a safety car at this point, but it doesn't look like we've got so much cash so much hard racing between that could cause a safety car with the 9 drivers that we have. The closest battles that we have on field involve Colas, who is in the slipstream of Torp, who has pit from the lead. But Colas
Interesting
is yet
moment
to pit.
here.
Yep, so I was
Fever
just about to say
vibes
everyone
coming. Sorry,
Sorry.
Fever vibes coming up on the gearbox here of P. Colas. Is P. Colas going to do Pinkston a solid here and try and slow up Fever vibes through this lap here? Does not look like they are in voice channel together, but does he have? Is he aware enough that this is kind of the situation, and his teammate, especially after taking that 3-second penalty, is gonna need a little bit of a hand to try and grip back up into first place here?
Yeah, let's see if Colas decides to stay out another lap just because it'll help out his teammate. Let's see, because Colas would need to, and Colas does stay out. So this might be more for the detriment of Fever to slow him down. So we do wisely Colas to save his battery, so it can be as defensive as he can. Maybe I don't know if his bugs for this go or less a bit of grip coming out of the front of the first corner. It looks like it might be a hold-up operation. Okay, Colas right now to do whatever he can to stay Fever's pace of the field. So as I said, he might be saving a lot of battery. Make sure Fever cannot get past. He's pretty clear that he's doing or is pretty much on the limit of blocking right now. Colas can only let him pass at this point because there's nothing you can do against DOS as Colas tries to make the move on the inside. I think it might have been a bit of a collision, but Fever stays right there. And this is what Yuki Tsunoda couldn't do for Max Verstappen, still couldn't do for Max Verstappen in the 2025 race last year. As Fever is through and doesn't have to deal with Colas anymore, who's surely going to pit in at the end of this lap. But Colas tried what he could and possibly cost Fever maybe the best part of 3 seconds. And of course, Pinkston has that 3-second time penalty. Torp has got another 3-second time penalty, so that works a little more in Pinkston's favor. Let's see, into the hard tires as Fever comes through now. So Pinkston will be on his way out, but he's going to be still adrift of Fever, I'm sure. So whatever Colas tried to do, slow down Fever, it wasn't enough anyway, because the lap in fresh air that Fever had were definitely much faster than Pinkston, and the undercut has worked out. So Pinkston is about 5 seconds behind Fever Vibes, plus he's got 3 seconds time penalty as well. So it's looking good for Fever Vibes. Just a reminder, Pinkston needs to outscore Fever Vibes by 13 points or more to become champion of Division 2. We're over halfway through the race. Everyone has pit in, and the order is Torp in first, Fever in second, Pinkston in third, causing us for qualifying on pole position and led the beginning stages of this race. EJ Noderman is under pressure for 5th place with Pinkston close behind in 6th. Aqua Snipes is 7th nearby. P. Colas in 8th, the last man to pit, and FMJ in 9th position. There's a battle for 8th and 9th. They look to be side by side on the back pit straight. Going into turn 9, here they go. That's FMJ, there's a clash. And that is FMJ trying to go up the inside, but Colas was closing the door on his new set of tires. And it's a half spin at about 120-30 miles per hour, slowing down from the high speed. But no big damage done, and no damage done, it looks like, as they are on their way. So that was an overtake, that was a move which didn't quite pay off, and that's no big deal at this point. But 12 laps done, final 8 ends, this one remaining, and for Fever Vibes, it's looking as though he's getting closer and closer, mile by mile, to a Division 2 championship.
Still lots of race to go, though. You never know what could happen. There's still good 8 laps here, so could Fever Vibes maybe. He at this point he's 7 seconds adrift of Torb, so he should be fairly comfortable. But the situation would be when Pinkston and these Kick Saubers likely catch up to him with these newer tires. He's got to stay out of trouble, and just try and really hold on to, at the very least, 5th place, and be content with that. Currently advantage Fever Vibes in the championship, but once again, there's still likely in a couple laps times a couple of cars that should catch up to his gearbox here, so still some action to go on.
Yeah, now Pinkston can't focus what's in front of him as he's got Cosners close behind. It's the two big green monsters behind the kicks of Cosners and DJ Nudelman, with Baker, who is just over a second behind. So the Mercedes is under pressure from both of the kicks. A sentence you probably never hear us say at any point. Well, a kick was still in Formula One, of course, in the big 2-6. Of course, we're using the 25 cars to end this season. We started well before the DLC release, so season 3 obviously we'll be using the 26 cars, but for now this is our farewell to Division 2, Season 2, and of course the 25 cars, as Pinkston has a look in his mirror because Cosners was having a look to see what he could do to get his green thing on the inside of the Mercedes ahead. The DJ Noderman is the next to get a 3-second time penalty. Let's see if Cosners will try and make a move around the outside. Yes, he's going to try and make. He was almost trying to make the move, had to shut it off as Pinkston braked a little bit later. But yeah, Pinkston was going defensive. So Cosners was looking to try and make an assault. Didn't make it happen, and for Pinkston, it's now a drive to keep the position. Anything can happen in this race, including, well, a late incident, which we almost had a bit of an incident early on between the final 2 positions on the grid, on track. And mentioning FMJ and Colas, FMJ actually pit in for another set of tires. He's on the red marked soft tires, so perhaps he did sustain damage in that incident in turn 9 between he and Scolis.
Well, Pinkston almost got away from Cosners there, but I think Cosners just caught himself within that second range to get the rear wing open here. We'll have to see. No, he didn't, but still kind of, still a lot of slipstream kind of through there and is within a second now. So we'll have to see coming into the braking zone here where Cosners ends up on Pinkston. He's down now, so it doesn't look like he'll get DRS again.
Not quite, and there might be a switch of positions between Cosners and DJ Noderman, unless this is just a bit of ebbing or flowing between the 2 drivers in the kick. But yeah, the closest battle is between the 2, although 6th and 7th positions are close by as well. That's PvP Baker and Aqua Snipes. I feel like through the latter part of the season, I've mentioned those 2 names are pretty close to each other in many of the races. But for positions 6 and 7, they are within 7/10 of a second. But with the final 5 laps to go, including this one, Bob is driving away at about half a second a lap over Fever, so he's got a 3-second time penalty at least. But that's not going to play into any difference for him. Pinkston does, though, with that 3-second time penalty, will take him off the podium positions, and one of the kicks will take the step as it stands right now, looking like Cosners because DJ Noderman has a time penalty himself.
It'll be wise here for Fever Vibes not to fight Pinkston with the time penalty and all this considered, and the position Fever Vibes is in right now. Not to put, like, you can defend your position a little bit, but don't put yourself in danger to the Mercedes that is going to be all over you right away here. So we'll see how this goes, and a little bit of weaving there, and this is getting really close, but Fever is going to back off in that corner. Pinkston's going to get ahead, but once again, he's going back at him though, and they make contact.
Yeah, people got the elbows out
Fever.
there. Fever does not know what back out means. I mean, he has 2 kids, for God's sake. So he does not give up. And now he's got Pinkston staying right behind him. They are going to battle on track for position. Whether they are looking at the championship Oh no, Fever doesn't have to battle. Pinkston has to battle clean and do whatever he can to get forward and pray for a miracle. That miracle might be FMJ, who's looks as though he's retired or gone well off at turn 6 and 7. But this might be battle again between the Red Bull of Fever and Pinkston in the Mercedes. The Pinkston will take the wider line, the wider entry, get up that accelerator earlier. It's already looking, it's no good for him now. He's using a bit of that most of his factory to get away. With DRS open, Pinkston takes the inside line. Can he make it stick? It's a drag race to break both down. Pinkston has the inside line. Is Fever still on the inside? Yes, he is. He gives enough space to Fever who bubbles against the sausage guard, but Pinkston has to move up the inside, and now Fever is going to try and take the position again. Here's DRS, a move around the outside. He can't quite hang it around, but Pinkston has got the position and won the battle unless Fever tries to make a dive up the inside, breaks later, but keeps within the wheel tracks of the Mercedes ahead. And both kicks are right behind as well, so it's about the second, third might be a close battle with the kicks getting involved as well.
Yeah, so just looking at the timing board too, Fever, like even if he gets passed by both kicks, and he shouldn't really, because if he sticks close enough, should have DRS and be able to fend off both kicks going forward here. Although it looks like Cosness is going to really try and finish this season off strong. So with the DRS, it'll be interesting to see what these kicks can do. But once again, even if both kicks passed him, he'll still have to be passed then by Aqua Snipes, who's about 6 seconds back of DJ Noodleman, about 7 seconds back of Fever Vibes. So it'd have to be a pretty out of the ordinary incident to screw this up for Fever Vibes.
Let's see if Fever can keep it straight. Can't quite do so as Cosness gets a straighter, better attack, better drive. Fever can defend himself with DRS as well. So he takes the inside line. Cosness will dip deep and bring it back towards the apex and gets the drive out of turn 9 through 10, 11, and 12. So Pinkston will be, I wonder what his plan is, if he's going to try and hold Fever up in this slow section. Looks like definitely is here to try and see if he can open up, get Fever to go out of shape and have both of the kicks try and take advantage. But let's see, this is a battle. This will be a slow battle as Fever tries to move the upset inside and can't quite make it as Pinkston keeps his car right there. But this will be frustration station for Fever as he's got both of the kicks behind and his championship leader. And Fever tries to move up the inside. He's made it. Well, he's gone too deep though. Gone too deep, and he's lost position. Back to and there's a slight touch between Fever and Cosness on the straight. Somehow they didn't both spin out, but it's allowed DJ Noodleman from fifth to third position. That is real aggressive by Fever. Feel like he's just playing great. Much later, it's getting a little bit dirty out there as it's almost a bit of squeeze action. Look at this as Fever gets through back into third position. So a lot of touching, elbows out, and even handbags between Fever, Pinkston, Fever, DJ Noodleman, and Cosness all in half a lap on the fastest parts of the circuit. And after all that, Fever stays in third place with both of the kicks still behind him. And Pinkston, it looks like he's got a lighter foot on the throttle pedal as DJ Noodleman almost sees another opening. But yeah, Pinkston definitely being strategic, slowing down in sector 3 to hopefully get the kicks to ambush the Red Bull. It's not quite, we've got 2 more laps to try and see if we can make a hold up thing work as Cosness goes well wide, and Cosness goes through. That's taken a bit of pressure and heat off Fever right here. So much so that Fever, who is definitely later on the brakes, more confident on the front end, but looks like the drivers around him are better on getting on the traction and straightening up out of the corners. Pinkston will be saving and spending his EOS wisely. So as that pivot making a move at the inside, he's tried the dive at the inside, maybe a bit of a collision on the rear axle of the Mercedes. He got out of straight out of turn 7, and now again, out of the kitchen taking advantage. Corsons is through. There goes Corsons, and Corsons has the DOS. Will he decide to attack Pinkston? I think everyone well knows that Pinkston needs all the points he can to outscore Fever. So perhaps if Corsons gets the chance, he won't take it to take Pinkston's position, and maybe there might be a bit of a slow up thing from Corsons to try and stymie and stifle Pinkston. Fever vibes with DJ Noderman and Aqua Snipes close behind. It's a five-way battle for positions Fever desperately doesn't need to lose any more positions right here. Although he's gone, there's a DJ Noodleman taking a low speed of the final corner, but not close enough to make the assault. Now, this is the final lap. This is going, and DJ Noodleman is spun, half spin, and almost collects it, saves himself from plowing all the way into the wall. But as it stands right now, as we got a yellow flag with FMJ at turn 6 briefly, Torb is well away as he's overlapped FMJ. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know unless he's listening into the commentary. Pinkston in second place, Corsness in third, Fever in fourth. Pinkston will be scoring 20 points if it finishes like this, and if Fever finishes in fourth place, he'll be scoring 14. So Pinkston will outscore Fever by only 6 points. That will not be enough, and it looks as though we're going to have our champion coming across the line dressed in Red Bull colors. Meanwhile, the lead driver on the track, got a 3-second time penalty, but he's had all the pace to make sure that he was not going to be challenging either way, on track or by time, as Torb comes across the line fast, and the victory is his. And this is second down to 6th place. They will come across the line, a myriad of time penalties against him. Pinkston is set to make, as you see, Snipes dive up the inside. Pinkston will go across the line second, but drop down because of the time penalties. Corson's second, Snipes third, Fever fourth, Pinkston fifth, and we have Fever Vibes as our Division 2 World Champion. Wow. Well, it looks pretty easy in the first half of the season. Pinkston really put it down in the second half and had such consistent performances, and it went down to the line. A very tight battle, which, even though it's a two-way battle for the championship, involved about 2 or 3 other drivers in the end, right down to the final few laps. And we have Always Blame 12 as our race winner. However, the big trophy goes to Fever Vibes. He's not on the podium, but he is Division 2 World Champion. We're just going to mention also, I believe this result clinches the Drivers, the Constructors Championship to Red Bull, to Mercedes. I think they have both outscored the lone Red Bull of Fever Vibes. So we'll get that confirmed, but definitely a Drivers Champion, Fever Vibes. What a race crew.
Yeah, I mean, Pinkston just, I think it came down to the quality there for Pinkston, and his mistake. I'm gonna guess likely Pinkston went into the pits and went, wait, it's only lap 6 out of 20. I probably shouldn't be pitting onto the hards. I'm guessing that's probably what happened, because then he ended up staying out a couple laps after, almost pitting in there. So it unfortunate for Pinkston is he did do lots of work in this race from 9th position to almost fight all the way back to take it to Fever. But also we also have to tip your hat to Always Blame Torb, who put out a solid showing there today. Was just way out ahead of everyone else. So really good showing there from Torb, and Fever Vibes just kind of stuck around, got into a lot of traffic. I'm sure the heart rate went up a lot there for him as he was getting slammed into by a bunch of Saubers, but in the end he came across the line as champion. So That's, I'm sure, at the end of the day, all he really cares about.
Indeed. So, yeah, as we saw, we're seeing Pinkston in the chat. Um, yeah, the error on lap 8 when he went diving in to the pit lane, or tried to too fast, and ended up cutting a corner, and that cost him a 3 seconds with the time penalty. So that really just hamstrung him throughout the race. He could do all the racing that he could on track. Do all he could to hold back Fever Vibes, but the 3 second time penalty meant that the bunching that he was causing was going to lose him further position going across the line. Cosness, he started on pole position, and well, he lost a few positions at one point after losing the lead to Torb on lap 4. But he's still managed to recover nicely, finished third across the line, and well, classified second place. The first podium for him. Nicely done, and yeah, what a great race that was
Hmm.
throughout this last Grand Prix of the season.
Never seen 9 drivers make it look so busy out there. It felt like we had 20 out there, despite it only being half the usual racers. So it was good to see some good battling, especially those Saubers really took it to Fever. But it, for the most part, was clean. But once again, in the end, it didn't cost anything for anyone. So um, good racing from what I saw out there. Um, and then yeah, we didn't really talk a whole lot about Torb because I think he ended up being 17 seconds out of the rest of the pack, so pretty lonely race there for him. But is that his first race win? That might be his first race win. Um, so
And
yeah,
he's had a
good.
early race from at some point this season, uh, so this might be a
Let's,
second race victory. But
yeah, let's check on
the
that.
one who won it all, as Gray checks, is Fever Vibes, and we can get him on the microphone now. Fever, Division 2 World Champion, well done.
Thank you. A lot of stressful battles, but managed to um survive until the end. I
Yeah,
went a
you
little
did.
risky with the early pit stop, lap 7. Tires were dying on me at the very end, but
Yeah,
managed to keep it on.
yeah, we'll get to that. Firstly, we talk about qualifying. You were quite a way adrift in qualifying. Did you make any mistakes out there? We were on board for much of it.
Sector 3 is where I sort of under understeered and lost the 5/10 from Cosnos.
Yeah, I bet you were relieved when you saw Pinkston had a disqualification in his lap.
Yes, I was very, very happy when I saw that.
Yeah, and well, how were you at the beginning couple of laps? Because you stayed third from the grid, but Pinkston gained from ninth to fourth position. Were you in fear of Pinkston at that point?
Uh, I didn't really think too much of it. Um, I know lap 2, I sort of bumped into Torb, and that was kind of a mistake I made because my fingers slipped off the trigger.
Oh, that was
But
that
then
excuse.
not an excuse. It really happened. Uh, but when I noticed Pinkston behind me in my mirrors, that's when I started getting a little stressed.
Yeah, and yeah, that battle was from about lap 6, I think. Yeah, you mentioned that you pitted in lap 6. Um,
7.
when you saw lap 7, yeah. So, and was that because your tires were dying, or was that because you were trying to force Pinkton into an early stop and
I
make the
was trying to
undercut
force
work?
Pinkston into an early stop.
Yeah, and you did force Pinkston into a little bit of pressure because next lap he tried to pit in. You might have heard the commentary. Tried to pit in, overshot the entry, and cut the corner. Got a 3 second time penalty. Were you able to realize that as the race was going on?
Yes, I noticed that, and that's when I started to calm down and just not fight as hard as I wanted to toward between Pinkston and I. I just decided to stay within the 3 seconds. Because I knew I'd still be ahead after the race finished.
And at any point when you were battling with Pinkston himself, were you thinking about not getting into the battle, letting him by? Because you didn't need to
Uh,
battle.
well, I did want to battle. I was trying to do a little bit of battling between me and him, even with his 3 second penalty, and then the kicks appeared and started hard battling me, trying to slow me down so that Pinkston can stay within that 3 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah, I'll just mention Pinkston in a bit. At one point, Colis was holding you up. How much was
Yes,
he holding you up?
for quite a bit. He held me up for most of sector 2 and half a quarter of sector 3, but then I managed to pass him before the line, and
Yeah.
I think that's when Pinkston was in the pits, and I was like ahead of him by 2-3 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's about right. It looks like we do have Pinkston on the microphone as well, so let's try and get him in as well. Might as well talk to the both of you about the hard battling that you had, especially towards the end of it. So, Pinkston, if you got your mic on, uh,
Hello.
yeah, Pinkston, we can hear you.
All right. It's
Yeah, Pinkston, first question I got for you. What happened in qualifying?
yeah, don't really want to talk about that one. Right at the end of sector 3, pushed a little too hard and just barely went over the line, and I think I was sitting around probably like 4th place at that time. Just pushed a little too hard to find more lap time and ended up messing that one up.
Yeah, fair enough. That happens. You had a great start off the line, or at least in the first lap, from ninth to fifth position. How were those moves for you, and were you feeling confident when you were gaining those positions?
Yeah, for that it was just you gotta have the confidence. You gotta just I had to get those moves done as quick as I can. Get up to fever. Hopefully got to the lead at that point. Just try to keep pushing, force him maybe into a few mistakes, but fortunately it didn't come that way.
Yeah, and you might not want to talk about the 3 second penalty that you got, so uh, we'll skip that for your sake. But the later
Good
stage
call.
of the race, yeah, the later stage of the race where you and Fever were battling for position, are you considering the championship, or were you just trying to focus on gaining positions as much as you could?
Once I got up to him, I was like, gotta fight him hard. Just hope something would happen. And then once I got ahead, I was like, all right, we gotta play some tactics. Try my best to get him slowed down to the kick Saubers and hopefully to the V carb. But I just didn't have enough laps, and he was just keeping it clean with good pace the whole time.
And how much were you blocking Fever to try and push, to try and slow him up into the kicks?
I mean, I think through sector 3, I was only like 25% throttle the whole time, just hoping for something.
Fair enough. Yeah, to you, Fever, were you kind of in fear of the two kicks behind whilst you're being held up?
Yeah, so with those kicks holding me up to keep me from battling Pinkston, they did manage to force me wide on the right before the sector 3 DRS zone, almost costing me a 3 second there. Uh, but and then the lockup that me and Cosnos had, um, it it almost cost me even more time to Pinkston, but I managed to catch up even with how worn out my tires were.
Yeah, we'll just do final questions for the pair of you. Actually, before I have my final questions, Gray, you got any questions of your own?
Well, one question I was gonna ask Fever is, I mean, I'm a man of sports. I understand kind of in those close moments. I was kind of curious how the heartbeat was kind of once you got into the battling with the kicks there. Like, how did you keep yourself composed? Because like that would have been a very tricky scenario to find yourself in.
Yeah, my heart was beating fast a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, and yeah, I mean, I guess my other question for Pinkston is, do we plan to see you back if there is perhaps a season 3 to maybe have another go at another championship?
If there's a season 3, we're gonna get them. You can mark my words now.
Well, there you go.
I love the
You
sound of
heard it from
that.
him.
Yeah, I like that. I like them fighting words. So, yeah, Pinkston, you gave it a good go. Unlucky, especially with the win that you got in the last race and the podiums that you got in the race before. It was unlucky in the ends, but good effort. Good effort still, Pinkston.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.
And yep, to Fever, last question to you.
I just kicked him.
Whoops, how
Whips.
rude. Anyway, sorry about that for Pinkston. But yeah, for Fever, have we got him? Oh, we lost him.
Eh,
We got him back.
I'm back.
Okay, yeah, Fever, just final well question or sentiment to you. Well done for the championship. Just want to talk about the latter part of the season because you're kind of running away with it in the first half, and then uh you kind of lost ground, and Pinkston was getting the better results. The final few
Yeah.
races were you kind of panicking a little bit?
Spa and Vegas were, well, Spa was my DNF, which uh gave Pinkston the opportunity to catch up in points, and then Vegas, I made the mistake of not pitting during the safety car,
Yeah.
so that also cost me.
Well, in the end, you have become world champion of Division Two. How does that feel?
Feels amazing. My first championship one.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Yep, so yeah, congratulations to Fever Vibes, Division Two champion. So well done. We're gonna get a couple other drivers to speak if they want to. Yep, Fever, thank you for joining us, and
Thank
enjoy
you.
the rest of your night.
You too.
Congratulations to Fever.
Thank you, Gray.
Okay, so since it's the final race of the season, we might as well try and see if we can bring in whoever else wants to join for a final bit of a confab. Um, as the Division Two season is done, and it looks like we got Cosness who has been eager to chat to us. So Cosness, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, we doing good. Your pole position, I think it was. How's the
Yes.
lap for you?
Oh my God, it was beautiful. My sector 3 was definitely the strongest, in my opinion. Where I gained most time. But yeah, it was amazing. Torb was hanging on a long time for first there. But yeah, it was overall a great lap. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, did you feel confident about this race before qualifying? Are you confident about getting a good result?
Yeah, definitely. I was hoping for a podium, and it turned out to be a podium. So yeah, I put in a lot of practice before the race, and yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, and you left from the line in the first couple of laps, but you're under pressure from Torb. Um, how hard were you willing to battle for the lead? And do you think you could have hung on to Torb?
Torb, I'd say Torb is a really talented driver. I mean, definitely not long because he's pretty quick. So, but I mean, I could have definitely hung for a few more laps, but at that point, I would have definitely get passed by him.
And how about the final stage of the race? Obviously, that was when Pinkston was holding Fever up. How eager were you to try and get in the middle of the championship fight?
I wanted to stay back to let them do their fight and hopefully gain advantage from that, and hopefully just watch on and see what would happen as well. It was actually a very great battle. I was really enjoying it from behind, but I did want. I was thinking about making a position, but I decided to stay back and let them do their thing.
Yeah. Alex, what questions do you have?
Uh, how about why don't you pick me a highlight of this year's or this season, I should say. Yeah, just what was your favorite moment of the ABR Lear this season?
Definitely my first race in Texas because I missed the first three, but my first race in Texas was definitely good. I did lose a lot of positions and make it back. I think it was either P9 or P8 or something like that. Did make up a lot of positions on that one, but yeah, definitely my favorite race because it was obviously my first one.
Mhm. Cool, cool.
Yeah, and you and DJ Noda Man seem to have quite a good solid partnership. Uh, especially in the latter stage of the race. How's it having DJ Noda Man as your teammate?
He's amazing. I love talking to him on the radio that we have. He's obviously a really good driver. He has talent, and with the podium in Vegas, he showed even more talent on that, with falling back to the back and getting up to a podium.
Yeah. Oh, question as well. Do you feel as though you were getting better as a driver? You putting in some better performances from start to the end of the season. Do you feel like you've got better um as a driver, as a racer, by competing in this league?
I definitely say the D1 reserve has had a lot of impact on that because I get to race with more experienced people and obviously a lot of time trial and practice as well as work and support with other people. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say that that's mostly helped me get better and better results throughout the season.
Okay, well, you definitely ended on a high for your first pole position and your first podium as well. So, congratulations on the second place.
Thank
And
you.
well done for finishing strong.
Thank you.
Okay, so great. We've got a Division One finale coming up. Both championships are wrapped up, but we've got quite a few drivers who have entered for that final race in about an hour's time or less than that. So yeah, any comments on that race that we've got coming up?
I mean, people don't like Abu Dhabi, but there's no way that we can kind of ignore the fact that I think it has the most overtakes across the race calendar throughout the year with the two DRS zones and like the long straights. So lots of opportunities to make overtakes, which then means just more for us to kind of pay attention to and more situations and all that to look forward to. So can't wait to see kind of what our league's best drivers can put to show for us. Um, Interesting to see kind of who we got going for us here. We do have the D1 champion racing today. Wasn't sure if that was going on. So good to see him racing. So yeah, we'll have a good show of talent there today, which will be good to see.
Yeah, we do. I'm trying to still do a bit of quick math to see if Red Bull stayed in the lead in the constructors championship. While I do that math, Gray, do you wanna have a convo with Fan Master? He's put his hand up, Phil.
Oh, Fit Master wants to come and speak, eh?
Let's bring him in.
What you got for me, Finn?
Hello?
Oh
Oh
gosh.
my god.
Hi guys. So shout out to D2 because I used to be there. I made it out the trenches though. So that's where I got my first podium. So good job, Fever. And And yeah, and good job, Cosmos, on your first podium. I remember what that feels like. And yeah, so just enjoy it. And I cannot wait for season 3. And I want stop talking. I want to be the commentator, if that's okay, for if we have a Division 2, you know. So maybe I can commentate, you know. If that's okay. Not
You
with
know
that
what?
mic. Okay.
You know what?
Lots.
If Nickelodeon offer us a contract for a bit of a broadcast deal, then you can do the Nickelodeon commentary because you're kind of cool. Hey, yeah, I know
Um,
she said you were in D2 from the big early on and elevated to D1. I might as well ask you a similar question that I did to Cosness. Do you feel like your race class of craft, your racing has got better in stepping up
yeah.
to D1?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. After Australia, I was absolutely fuming though, because I missed out on a podium by like 4 tenths. So, but
And well, are you gonna be racing tonight in the Division 1?
oh yeah, I'm gonna be racing tonight, but I'm cooked. Yo, my setup is hot trash. So I'm like, I just want to get the season over with, you know. But
Brilliant. Yeah, well, we'll be getting the season over with in just under an hour's time. So you got about 45 minutes to prepare yourself.
oh yeah, okay.
Let's get
But
yourself out of the closet or where or the shoebox or wherever you are right now.
okay.
Is that a
yeah,
microphone or
I'm
is
using
that
my bad mic right now, so because
right?
my
Okay,
good one broke, but because the wire, you know.
fair enough. Well, yeah, well, Ben, well, we might, if you're lucky, we might be hearing from you after the D1 race if things go your way.
Ooh.
Hell nah. I'm gonna just need y'all to disqualify everybody else, except me, except my teammate, of course. But
Yeah,
that's
you know
okay.
what?
Well,
You know what? If Gray is absent again for season 3, then I don't mind having you as my teammate as a
Okay.
commentary.
Okay. Okay.
And I think yeah, if ever I'm absent, I'm talking on behalf of Gray. He will gladly accept you as his commentary partner as well.
Oh
Isn't that
yeah.
right, Gray?
Yeah, he said yes. Okay.
Yep.
there's
Yeah,
discussions to be had.
Okay.
discussions. Yeah. Anyway, Fen, we'll leave you to get on cook, and cook up a good setup for Abu Dhabi. You got about 45 minutes, so
But I
good luck.
literally tried everything. I could not get faster, so it's over.
Skill issue.
Prime
But
Logan
anyway,
Sargent today.
yeah, great to hear. Anyway, we'll maybe chat to you later on. We'll end this broadcast in about a couple of minutes. Yeah, thanks, Fen, for chatting to us.
Yes. Thank you for bringing me up.
Good stuff. All
Man,
right, so
man of many words there, DC.
good, actually, but never mind. But yeah, okay. Well done for you. Fen Masters finally got a bit of his 15 minutes or seconds of fame. Uh, but yeah, anyway, to matters at hand, Division 2 is done and dusted. Fever Vibes is our Drivers' World Champion. And even in the 5 minutes that I had, I still didn't check to see uh, if um, the Constructors' Championship is wrapped up. But I will when we finish off this broadcast. I'm in the middle of watching a good soccer match at the moment, so uh, let me see if we could do a bit of quick math. Gray, in the meantime, what was your highlight of Division 2? Or what parts, what moments stick out to you?
Seems like every single time. I think back to Fever and I believe it was Yano at the time in China. And how close, I mean, that whole pack was in that race. Like no one was lapped. No one was even close to being lapped. I think everyone in the pack was within a sector of each other. So it was a really, really close race. And then we saw Fever and Yano come across the line to each other like within a tenth. It was an absolutely unbelievable moment there. So yeah, that's probably my highlight. Um, Otherwise, like the two divisions have created so much, just generally like so much content and so much kind of to look out for. So yeah, I mean like there's it's kind of hard to pick out one or a couple of moments in what was a fairly long season.
Yeah, highlight for me was kind of the consistency that we had in the fact that for 7 races, whoever qualified on pole was the race winner. But at the
Yes.
same time, it wasn't a case of a drive away victory for that lead driver. The racing was always there. We had that first race where Yano, it was Yano, wasn't it? Yano won the race by no, Fever won the race by 79 thousandths of a second. So that was really close and an indication of some of the close racing that we had. So yeah, we had some good racing across the season. And just doing a bit of math, I don't think Mercedes did enough to score enough points to overhaul Red Bull's
Y-
10-point advantage. So I think Red Bull are also constructors champions.
Yeah, wow. So kind of Fever carrying them on his back through the end there, because can't remember who his teammate even uh who was driving alongside him.
Neither
Um,
can he. I don't think he really had a consistent teammate.
yeah, so that's quite impressive to kind of carry a whole constructor on your own, even to another championship, if that math is indeed correct. So shout out to him for that, because that's quite impressive as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we've got just under an hour before the Division One finale starts. It's about time that we'll end the broadcast here. So a final congratulations, Fever Vibes for winning the Drivers' Championship and for clinching the constructors for Red Bull as well. And also, well, thanks, Cosness, for the appreciation for me and Gray during our commentary. Um, and yeah, just thanks for everyone who participated in Division Two for season two. So hopefully, after a little bit of a break, we'll have a third season coming up. Nothing's planned yet, but if you're all eager for it, then surely it'll happen. So thank you for everyone who raced it in this race and the races throughout the season. We'll end the session, the broadcast here, and join us in about 9:15 East Coast time for the Division One race.
Hola. Aha. There's my other good friend. Let's go, everybody.
What up, though? We
What's
good?
going in? Yeah, we're just waiting for the live stream to go live here, and then we are good to go.
Okay. Yeah, I was just having a quick convo with Viva. So yeah, understood. Don't worry about it. So
I
yeah,
don't
okay.
think the
We've got.
TikTok's going exam. Sorry.
I was just about to say, have we got everyone?
Oh,
Uh,
come on.
we got everyone ready? Is everyone in the lobby?
Everyone's in the lobby. Lives are good. Up to you, examined. Okay, so if this is to start at this moment, Fax is showing no pulse, so this is actually a huge moment if he does not make it, for the constructors as well as the driver standings, because I think this will open second place wide up, and it'll basically gift Aston Martin the constructors as well. So, sorry, Aston Martin's already locked up the constructors, but second in the constructors as well. So, um,
Yeah, let's see. What I was actually speaking to Vax a little bit earlier. Didn't give any indication. Wonder if he's taken a bit of a pre-race sleep, as I used to do, and he's just not woken up. Could be that. Could be anything else, though.
that would be a toughie.
Yeah. Maybe he's partly from Ecuador, and he just saw his team lose, and so he's not too happy about it. So
Okay,
I don't know. Hopefully,
Max sits second in the driver standings, ahead by 15 points of Ethan, 18 of Yano. So second, first, second, or third for Ethan gets him second place in the constructors at this moment, and Yano Pitbull with a first or second finish would also get him second. Also, with respect to Ethan and where he finishes. So, if Fax doesn't make it, the drivers is getting a little interesting there.
even if he can't make it for qualifying, he'll be able to join in mid-session and
Mm.
jump in for the race. He will qualify last, but he'll still be in the race nevertheless. So yeah, just up to examine to give us the go ahead, and we'll keep going on ahead.
They're readying up, so we'll head to the track in a couple of moments. Not quite time yet, but go ahead. You're gonna say something.
Just about to say, everyone in the is the are we live on the other?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
live on the socials.
Alrighty then. Okay, so yeah, if you're joining us for the first time, we're running our final race of Division 2, Division 1, race 12 of 12. And we've already got the drivers and constructors championships locked in, but the driver who's in the race is driving for, well, for the usual reasons why you enter the race: for competition, a bit of ego, and for the fun of it. So, race number 12 in the league, we've still got some drivers who have got some selling for position to do in the drivers' championships for themselves and also in the constructors' championship as well. So, yeah, we've got some the league race about to start anytime soon. 50% race at Abu Dhabi, which well follows a short qualifying session, 18 minutes long. So for anyone who's just joining us on the socials, stick around, see what you make of the league race session that we've got coming up ahead. Final race of the season, qualifying, and then a race coming up. And if you are particularly interested, look in the bio and take a look at the Discord. Check us out on Average at Best Racers Discord channel. We might actually get Average to join in the broadcast anytime later on. Hopefully, towards the very end, so they can have a couple of words to mention how the season went for him, for his perspective. But we are ready to go.
I wanna let my head down.
And then the qualifying.
I'm staring down your face. Wanna go till lights out. Take it right back to my place. You out your mind. If you don't know what this is, I tell them one by one. Some one by one. Twist my wrist. Girls like this, move from the back. Eyes on me, ain't like that. Just like this, kill for the night. Do it by in, just keep watching. Just keep watching. Just keep watching. Just keep watching.
Here we go for the final time here in Division 1. Here at Abu Dhabi, 5.2 kilometers of racing action across the Yas Marina circuit. Elevation reaches 10.2 meters high, and we will be using soft, medium, and hard compound tires. It'll be the C5, C4, and C3, almost the softest compound that Pirelli has brought. We will head down to the track as the outlaps are just starting to finish up here. We have a V-Carb leading the pack here, and I will send it off to Jamie for our first look around the Abu Dhabi circuit in the ADR leader.
So it looks like we're focusing on Jesus Rules, who's starting his first proper lap. Looking through turn 1, we have to turn 2 now. This looks like it's his second lap on these tires. He validated his first. This proper lap if he keeps it beyond between the white lines. Going for that late entry, the car was fighting in turn 5, and is the straight long, the straight long straight, obviously. Heading down to turn 6 and 7, hard braking zone. Breaking down for just over 200 miles per hour at just over 100 meters away. It's pretty clean through turn 7. Getting inside this line, getting the DRS as soon as we can. Through the top of turn 8, some other approach of turn 9. Bring down from about 200. Try to keep as much speed as you can. As soon as you get off the brakes, you're willing to get on the accelerator and drive and keep it full throttle until you break in the turn 12, the awkward braking zone. A little bit of a lock up, and then these two awkward off camber corners, turn 13, 14, turn 15 is flat out. And high 6th gear, and then this 7th final corner, which he can find a lot of time. 124.0, he's lost a lot of time in the last corner alone. Expect lap times to be close to the 22, mid 22s is my prediction. So Zephyr has quickly set the fastest lap time in the Aston Martin for years now. In the Aston Martin with a 23.1, 4 tenths clear of everyone else. And make that just 1 tenth clear of Noriaki Akiyama and the Red Bull. Here's one of the McLarens across the line. He's missing his teammate. So far, as you see Chris come through and set a third fastest lap. It's a 1:23.322 for Chris, 3:12422. All the numbers there. As we see Ethan come across the line, he'll be starting his fastest lap. He hasn't set a time yet. He is one of 6 drivers to do so, and like Jesus Rules on the last lap, he's on his second run on these tires, having invalidated his first lap. So far, his championship, well, champion, I should say, Division 1 champion, is who leads in who leads his qualifying session so far by a tenth of a second by the Red Bull of Noriaki Akiyama. We're on board with Young Will, who's seemingly gone purple in the middle sector. Let's see his progress through sector 3. A little bit of rear locking you might have heard there. Tires switching across the ground, keeping a tight line. He turns 13 and 14. In a little bit taking you to say, getting on 15 and 16 now. Enters and is rear stepping out, it looked like, as opponent wasn't responding, looking like he was getting oversteer, then understeer, but he set a time worthy of third place on grid. You see Todd coming across the line and going up to fifth place with a 23.5. As we scroll through and see not Ethan come across the line to set a 23.2, so he's only 200s off row 2 and within 15 thousandths of a second of Young Will and P4. Master, well, he's made his way off the pilot seat and he's in the Williams seat, so it looks like he's on a warm-up lap right here in the Williams. Teammate to Chris, they've been teammates regularly in the last few races. So good to see that Chris has managed to make a return back on track, and Master started this season in Division 2. Started in Division 2, showed good promise, and got the step up to Division 1, and proving really capable here. He was saying earlier that he got a setup which is seemingly cooked, but let's see if he's managed to find a setup which works for him. Looks like he's pretty tentative in on this lap so far, with quite a lot of honesty. As you can see, perhaps he's got a race setup. He's more suited to the race instead of qualifying, and he's decided this lap won't do any good for him. FIA and Fed Master yet to set a time. FIA is halfway through his lap right now. When Deeper turns 6, and that's getting up pretty poorly through 7, and you can see he was a bit anxious to get on the throttle a bit too much as he got a little bit out of shape of turn 7. Let's keep up following his progress still as we edge closer to the halfway mark of this short qualifying session. As I said, the Division 1 season, we already have our drivers and constructors championships settled already, so each of the drivers entering this race is doing so for the fun and the thrill of it. As you see, FIA pushing final corner now, stays within the white lines, and his time is a 25.4, so he's got more time to find surely in the Haas. He did comment a couple of days ago that he's not very much a fan of this track, so that might be a factor in the lap time, which is, as it stands, almost a second off 12th position, but surely he's got time that he can find. It's only Master who's in pit road right now, who's yet to set a time. Watching Keith's rules now is bounced off the first apex of turn 9 and getting in the middle of the road on exit. Let's see. So he did look like on the last lap that he locked up his front right. Looks pretty clean this time, and no, it's gone pretty wide. It's gone all the way wide and hit the wall at turn 14. Well, as just as I was saying, looked pretty clean. He got pretty rough with the wall by there. Cosness coming across the line out of the final corner now. He goes from 9th to 5th with a 23.2. So he's joining the Crabs 23.2 club right there. Noriaki Akiyama, not Ethan, Young Will, and Cosness are separated by 41 thousandths of a second as Aqua Snipes stays P12. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th places only need to find a second, about a 10th 3/10 of a second, and they will be knocking off Cheers from P1 in the final 8 minutes, 5 seconds we have to go in the session. Second place, the 7 lap time, which is 2/10 off P1. Well, made that a bit more now as Chris has gone faster by 3/10. He's into the 22s, the 122, 824. Chris dialing the car in turn 12 through turn 13. Continues, well, eager to want to put the throttle down a bit more. Back through the final. Throwing the car forward, getting his belt. Seeing as though he's pretty tentative on the accelerator at a slightly faster time, but he stays in 5th place. He steps up to 5th place, I should say, into the 23. Well, you see how close the times are. So we've got Young Will, who we're focusing on now, 23.263. Chris on a 23.264. Austinus 23.269. So 6,000 separates 3 drivers, and there's a little more that separates second to 5th as Young Will sets the fastest lap of the session. He breaks out of the 23.2 club and goes and sets a 1:22.794. It's still 300ths of a second faster than Cheers in the Aston Martin. So it's very close and fine margins between every one of the drivers. Brent Master hasn't set a time yet, and he will do so if he keeps in the white lines here at turn 15. Comes across the line, and it's good enough for 10th place. Right, having a look at Noriaki Yaki, he's on her outlap as he's got himself disqualified. So I think he's going to try and attempt to do a first to last, and he did so success. The last race, last weekend in Vegas. Looking at the Red Bull of Noriaki Akiyama approaches, I see from turn 1. The turn 2, the touch of the car, but now she's going to have 2 cars in her way. To turn 4 and was so close, very close to hitting her own teammate, Corsinus, who came out of the pit lane and was slow, and actually did hit her teammate, and has got front wing damage. And it looks like Noriaki Akiyama is pretty pissed at that one, because he was pretty clean through turns 1 and 2, turn 3 as well, and Corsinus was on her racing line. And now that has spoiled what was very looking like a very promising lap time, and that was pretty much ruined by her own teammate. So, well, it should have been clear already that anyone who is on an in lap, an out lap, or a calling lap, if you're not on a flying lap, to stay well off the racing line. And maybe it's due to how the pit lane exit is. You come out onto the racing line of turn 3 through turn 4, and perhaps Corsinus was unaware of his teammate coming through and fast on a hot lap. So we got the final 4.5 minutes. Noriaki Akiyama has scored a quit in this qualifying, so her best will be as fast as high up the grid as he will manage. Definitely. As though he went beyond the white line on the exit of turn 14, but has got away with it. He's on his hot lap now. What can he do to improve from 7th position? Doesn't improve on this lap and stays in 7th. So the fastest lap so far is Young Will on a 22.794, rounded out to 22.8. He's 3/10 ahead, 4/10 I should say, ahead of Not Ethan in 2nd. And then Chris Cosness are in 4th and 5th on near to identical lap times. Let's see if we can see from some improvement from Always Blame Torb, who won the Division 2 race early on. I say early on, it was about less than an hour ago, just over an hour ago. Focusing on the Mercedes now, pretty much cut turn 13, a different choice of a line through 13 and 14, and as aggressive as it was, got punched by the wall. So into the pits he will go. About. Well, he's trying an aggressive line and it wasn't working for him. Perhaps he was managing a lot of understeer in the final section. It's a bit of a compromise on this circuit where you have, of course, the long far sections, well, sector 2, where you can bypass 200 miles per hour on 2 occasions. But then you have sector 3, which is all pretty much turns and slow and mid-speed corners, in which your car has to be technically able as well as aerodynamically able to handle those mix of corners, especially going through and onto the hotel in the final stage of the race, of the lap, I should say. Seen some cars are cutting corners to trying to rush back to the pit lane, although with 2.5 minutes on the clock, they won't be able to switch onto the tires, the next set of tires too quickly. Or they'd have to really rush for it now. You have some cars who are in pit lane, and a couple of cars who have come out of the pit lane as well. If we're looking at Korsneth, who was on a lap and has let the kick go by. I don't know if Korsneth actually wanted that pressure, but decided to go back past, not Ethan. I don't think it's Wendell Johnson, who looks like he's at turn 5 at the opposite end of the pit of the race circuit. So a minute, just under 100 seconds, just over 100 seconds to go in the session. Let's see if anyone can beat or even get close to Young Will's 1:22.8. Korsneth, is he able to set a next fastest lap here? He's got enough time to do so, and so does the kick behind, who I believe is Wendell Johnson. Yes, it is Wendell Johnson. Let's focus on him through turn 1. Turn 2, turn 3, nice flow. He's going to get a slipstream from the Red Bull slightly ahead of him. Turn 4 just prepares you for turn 5. You enter a little bit later, ideally, to meet the apex later, so that you can get and put the foot down as early as you can for the long straight. Still got a slipstream from the Red Bull ahead, breaking down just before the 100 meter mark, on about 200 miles per hour. If he had a bit of a collision there, or someone else did, but we could definitely hear that on the mic, on the headphones. As Wendell Johnson comes through turn 9, Red Bull getting all the way out of the way, pretty much heading to Dubai, it looked like. As Wendell Johnson comes through turn 3, Chris has set another faster lap into the 23 zeros. So faster lap set by Chris. Let's see if we can get back on board with Wendell Johnson, who is entering the final couple of corners now. That's his teammate, not Ethan. So coming across the line, you see him on the map. What does Wendell Johnson do? Can he improve? Isn't able to do so. So Wendell Johnson will stay at most 9th position. His teammate focused on him now. This is not Ethan. He's currently P3 on a 23.2. Happens like there's retired from the session, so as much as a guy P12 for him. Chris is on an invalidated lap, it looks like, as the checker waves right now. So all apart from 5 drivers are on their laps. We try and see if they can improve. It looks like Torb will be the first to get across the line. Getting a little bit of trouble and finally can over the corner. And across the line, Torb goes. Does he improve? He pushes that time, but in his position, he stays at 7th place with a 1:23.3. But Ethan goes pole and bundles with time and takes pole position with a 1:22.5. Damn! Wow, that came out of nowhere. But Ethan is somewhere, and with the place where everyone wants to be, that's P1 so far, unless anyone else can find some time. Young Will is already parked up, parking up, I should say. Chris is already in pit road, and anyone else who's near enough to contend for pole position is already tucked up in pits. As Zephyr finds a time to go into the 1:22s. 3rd place for Zephyr, 1:22.960 for Zephyr. So excellent lap. Yeah, I believe Not Ethan is that is everyone. Everyone's seen the checkered flag except Wendell Johnson, who looks like he's on an in lap, cruising in. But we have our pole position. Man, it's this guy, Not Ethan, cruising in, and he set a lap time out of nowhere. He absolutely hooked it up, probably in sector 3. But yep, pole position is Not Ethan's. I believe that is his first pole position of the season. You'll be starting alongside Young Will on row 1, of course. Zephyr will be starting P3, and alongside Chris in 4th position. As no, not Ethan has gone across the line again. The session is over, so yep, that is everyone's qualifying done. Not Ethan is on pole position alongside Young Will, and Zephyr is starting alongside Chris on row 2 for third and fourth positions respectively. So that's how the grid starts, or the grid will be. We have a 5-second grid penalty for one driver, that is Noriaki Akiyama, for a collision with Cosmos, who's just explained it was in AI mode, and exiting the pit lane because, well, because of a house cat. Unfortunately, I know how that is. You've got a cat who interferes with your progress in a race. Nevertheless, I don't think Ethan was seemed to be locked in. And Gray, if you're still with us, at pole position. How about that?
Here, just for anyone listening in, we will be retiring from the race. We have to reset the grid, so just kind of as we head into the first one here, and this is the incident that is causing the retirement. We see Noriaki Akiyama, and then her teammate actually right in the racing line, and will actually end up receiving a 5-place grid penalty for that contact, which is obviously not fair, as we can see. So we will be resetting the grid to accommodate that.
Okay, so what that means for everyone involved is everyone, as we're about to start this race, just retire, crash into somebody, crash into something. But just make sure that you retire from this race, because we're not going to run this. We will reset the lobby. There you go. Good stuff. Smash time Takahashi over here. We're going to retire from this race and restart the lobby and get everyone back into, have everyone qualifying. Not qualify, but we'll have everyone put into the grid positions in which they qualified in. And then we'll get the race done properly. For this red flag, of course.
Red flag, red flag. Here, we'll just switch over this.
All right, so yeah, as we get that all done, might as well just have a bit of another brief conversation about what we thought of the in real life race of earlier, in which Lewis Hamilton took race victory, and both Kimi Antonelli and Charles Leclerc didn't see the checkered flag.
Yeah, that was like maybe the wildest lap I've ever seen. Is whoa, my goodness. Hopefully that's not another red flag. So yeah, I mean, like you see, you know, Kimi Antonelli fights for 62 laps to kind of finally try and catch up to George. He finally gets to George. Oh, and that's another red flag.
Oh my jeez.
Anyways, where was I going with that? Right. Kimi fights for 62 laps to finally catch up to George, finally passes him down the main straight there with actually a really nice move around the outside. We saw Isaac Hadjar doing that a lot, kind of as he lost all his positions off the race start. So finally kind of gained that position, and that poor guy literally seconds later, um, you know, just is parked up. So a tough situation for him in the end, and yeah, and then yeah, and then there's where I'm going. Sorry, very distracted, trying to focus on the retirements here. Yeah, so and then you look at Charles. Charles is causing a yellow flag, and it's just everything is kind of going crazy, and you have Lewis, and you almost worry for Lewis with like a possible safety car because you never know if you had two cars parked up on the track, it'd be hard to do a VSC in that moment when you have probably two double yellows throughout the track. So likely could have been if Charles didn't get that car back to the pit lane, the safety car that could have gave Russell another shot at Lewis Hamilton towards the end of the race on what probably it would have been a little bit of a situation there where we would have seen either George Russell it'd be George Russell doing the opposite of whatever Lewis Hamilton would have done on the safety car, which would either put him P1 to defend for however many laps Lewis Hamilton would stay out. And then George goes and pits in for some fresh softs. So it would have been an interesting situation, but thankfully Charles got back to the pit lane.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I don't think Russell would have had to pit in another time if the without the virtual safety car. So it was up to
Mhm.
Hamilton to would have been up to Hamilton to eventually pit at some point around lap 45. I think it might have been the target 45 to 48. Gone to the hard tires, and then he would have been in chase mode. I think he would have come out about 9 seconds behind, maybe a bit more, of both Mercedes, who were fighting for position eventually. And then Hamilton would have probably turned up and taken the position pretty easily. But we well, we'll never know. We can only speculate as to if that would have happened or not. What did definitely happen is Hamilton, it played into the virtual safety car played into his hands, and Hamilton got uh, effectively the cheap pit stop, if you want to call it that. Probably not the best choice of words, but you know what I mean. And worked in his favor and is able to drive away with a victory. As for, I don't know if many people might have heard the news, but Franco Colapinto finished eighth, but he got a time penalty um, for I think something happening in the pit lane, and it dumped him out of the point. So what was the double point? 7th, 8th position for Gasly and Colapinto ended up just being the 1 point position point finish for Alpine. But it
Yeah,
does
well,
set us up
I didn't.
nicely with the
Sorry, good.
races coming up. Yeah, sorry for
Uh,
interrupting.
no, that's okay. I was just gonna say I had no clue that Franco Colapinto ended up with that penalty at the end. That's too bad because Alpine actually they did quite a great job after a disappointing qualifying yesterday. So it's good to I guess see that they were able to do that.
Yeah. Let's just see if we can get an update on the lobby and see if everyone is rejoined. That's what we were waiting for. We had a penalty in the qualifying session. So we're resetting the lobby right now. Hopefully everyone has been re-invited, and we can get going as soon as possible. Well, final race of the season, in which, as I said, as we said before, the both championships are locked, are confirmed already. So we're just waiting to see if we can get the race going as soon as. So yeah, and it was Ethan who qualified on pole position. So I'm just trying to look. I believe it was his first pole of the year. I just have a double check and see if it was. looked like actually he got a pole position. I got fastest lap actually early on in the Dutch Grand Prix, in which he finished third position at. Um, so so yeah, his first pole position of the finished third in the last race. Um, at Vegas. So qualifying on pole. He's looking to finish this season with a race victory. So good luck to him. And if he does, if he manages to finish strongly, if he finishes in the podium positions, he will overtake Fax for second place in the championship. So Ethan doing the best he can in qualifying, as best he can in qualifying, and we'll want to continue. We'll see if he has that race pace and that getaway pace as well off the line once we restart the well, I think we've got the lobby almost set. Once we get a race going.
We are
to
just
any
loading in
moment.
currently.
And also looking at the championship as well, Nariaki Akiyama can also gazump Fax for second in the championship as well. So she qualified fourth on the grid, I think, fifth on the grid. So both Ethan and Noriaki Akiyama can either, or the both of them could overtake Fax in the championship. Fax, who hasn't turned up for this race. So that leaves second spot in the championship wide open. Okay, so
Yeah.
drivers, one of the drivers, and during the final changes to amendments to their setup. Alex.
And I just want to mention, with Ethan taking pole position in this as well. So, yes, Ethan taking pole position just ahead of Young Will. So that would put him in second place if he were to convert this. I think even in a top 3. If he converts to the top 3, he will finish second, which would be a very good accomplishment for him. So he set himself up well to finish very well.
All right, so here we go. This is our proper race. Race 12, all lights are off, and let's go. Through turn 1, here we go. Looks like not Ethan has got a good start and enters turn 1 without hassle. That bit of Chris, a touch from Chris on the back of Young Will, but as we all flow through turns 1, 2,
Mercedes
and 3,
spinner in the back.
Yeah, we've got a spinner at the back. It's always blame top. Oh, Alco Snipes are at the back anyway with FIA, so it looks like 3 cars have spun.
Red flag, red flag.
And a red flag even. So how about that? We'll try and see if we can get any comment from the drivers involved, but we've got a first red flag proper in the league race. So we will reset and restart once again. Well, we had to have a red flag because of we had a red flag because we had an erroneous start to the session before. And now in our actual proper start, we've got a red flag involving both the Mercedes and FIA in the Haas. So, well,
Yeah, I believe it was maybe a
Mhm.
Racing Bulls and a Williams out in the back that got tagged up there.
That might be right. We'll see if we can get some comments in the comments section at some point. By one of the drivers. There's a time penalty against him. The lights go out again. Here we go. Lap 3. We go green flag racing, and hopefully we'll have less of the incidents as we did before. Entering turn 1, the Williams and the McLaren are side by side as not Ethan continues to lead. It's not Ethan, it's Chris. We have one of the Haas. This smooth operator was wide, but has got back on racing line as we go into turn 5. Not Ethan, Chris. Young, Will, and Zephyr switching positions, those two. Noriaki Akiyama getting a little bit out of straight and losing position. The smooth operator, a lot of traction lost, and she might be losing a couple more positions on the back straight. They're focusing on the Haas of smooth operator with Noriaki Akiyama close by and beside, and also going up the inside as smooth hits Noriaki Akiyama there tries to recover, and he is at the back of the grid. He was out he's in fifth position, and within about 2 seconds, he's all the way facing backwards and in last position as as Chris is under pressure from Wendell Johnson and Cosmos. Now let's see what he can do. He's a championship leader who's seen P1 many times. He's in the mid pack in P6 right now. So we might get a replay of what we saw the incident between Smooth Operator and Noriaki Akiyama. But Smooth is 3 seconds off his teammate right there. It's a half 11-12. Cosmos and Casus Rules and Fent Master are both out of the race. We'll see if we can get a combo from there at some point. Chris is a 10-second time penalty. Just so
Or
I
in a
flash on the
blue
screen didn't.
flag.
Yeah, no blue flags. So we shouldn't have blue flags for any reason. So that should be a penalty that we
That will
will
get
remove after the race for whatever reason he was given in the first place. So it's not Ethan. Young Will, it's the Williams of Chris, Zephyr, Noriaki Akiyama, Cheers, Wendell Johnson, Cosness, Todd, and Snipes, FIA, and Smooth, as we see his switching position on the straight between Osblink 12 looks like it's going for a move up the inside of his block cover position. Bob is through. I've got a 3-second time penalty as they're on board with Ethan. He lost his lead. Young Will trying to get it back now. Young Will has the inside line, goes and aims for the curb. A little bit of touchy right there, but they get through unscathed. A little bit close to Will bang, but not Ethan. Has the speed and has got P1 back again. So it's not Ethan. Young Will just is looking very close behind. Zephyr is holding forth to Noriaki Akiyama right behind. A little bit of a touch on the wall, going right at turn 14 from Zephyr there. It was only a scuff with the wall and not a proper hit, so he should have all his faculties with him on the car. Young Will, that's the fastest lap of the race. It wasn't clean because he was midway through a battle with not Ethan. So not I say not clean. I should say it wasn't a proper racing a proper lap in like good pressure because he was midway in that battle with the kick who was right behind a bit in front of him. Are we getting DRS? Obviously not. Ethan will have to defend without the use of DRS. He's going on the inside line. He's already committed to the inside line. Young Will is trying to get ahead. They're going to be side by side in turn 6. That's enough space, and Young Will has successfully taken the position, and now Chris is going to get involved. Now Young Will has to defend. Ethan has the DRS. Young Will sticking to the inside line. How bold will not Ethan be? Not so bold. He's going to try and tuck up the inside. Will he be able to do it as Young Will fades a little bit wide? Not Ethan. He's on the outside now of things. And it does, and a half spin. They collide, and they have both spun out. Well, is going to knock his touch going through turn 11, and as they are, the McLaren is spinning sideways, bounced back off the wall and back into the path of Ethan. So the both sustains contact, and Chris has gone from third to first. In the lead is Chris with his love of toes. He's in P1 and he's loving it right now. He's got a second and more gap to Noriaki Akiyama. Cheers, he's gone up to third, so he started last. It was as high as fifth, sixth at one point, and he's gained a couple of positions as Young Will enters the pit lane. Not Ethan stayed out on track, so I thought he just sustained some damage. Evidently not. So he's still running, and in fourth, he's just within the DRS range of Cheers. Zephyr is behind. He will get DRS with the DRS turn. As you see, Cheers going towards 215 miles per hour and taking second place on the straight pretty easily and breezily through into P2. But Noriaki Akiyama is going to jump the slightly straight the drive and attacking, but must we have the straight line speed. Not against Chase, who I believe is running flats for his weighing 0-0 or as close to it. So even though the Red Bull behind now had DRS, he was unable to hang on to the straight line speed. As we see behind, Zephyr is in a kick sandwich. In fifth place is Zephyr with not Ethan ahead and Wendell Johnson behind. We got yellows briefly flashing up. I believe that was too smooth operator. But the yellows are clear. The track is clear, and we're going up to lap 6. Chris is MP1, but might have that position. He's gonna have to go defensive as Chiz sets the fastest lap of the race. There's a second between, just under a second between top 3 positions. And Northeastern is close by, as we've got Always Blame Top entering pit lane in the Mercedes early on. So Young Roll and Always Blame Top early pitters in this race. Let's see if we can see on the graphic what tires each of the drivers are. It'll be interesting to see how many of the drivers decided to switch their tires after the red flag on lap 1. As Chris keeps position, and this is Wendell Johnson on the inside of Zephyr, and it is a clean move made. Makes the car wide on the exit of 6 to close it down for turn 7. Now Zephyr will go on the attack with the wing, rear wing wide open. DRS is open, gets the inside line, and Wendell will have to deal with it. Back down to 7 he goes, back down to 6 I should say he goes, and trying to keep it around the inside as he might have spent that Zephyr was struggling on the harder set of tires. But Zephyr has the position kept. So everyone, as you can see, is on the same set of tires that they started. Well, these are the tires that they started the restart with on the red flag. You don't need to pit again necessarily, but you're gonna have to, because 29 laps on a set of tires is pretty much impossible. It's pretty much impossible to go about 20 laps on the white marked tires anyway. So it's effectively going to be a 2-stop race. It will be classified as a 2-stop race because a race pit stop was technically done to switch tires. As Zephyr kind of has a look, he'll probably be patient and bide his time, but it looks as though, and it's a bit of a touch there, as Wendell looked as though he went a little bit wide, and a touch by Zephyr unsettled Wendell Johnson, and they go, and it's a drag race right now. Here they go. And Wendell Johnson is back up ahead into 5th position. He's behind his teammate in 4th, teammate Ethan in 4th place. And it's meanwhile that Chris is still leading the race by just over a second. So he's showing just under a second, I should say. So he's showing good pace from championship leader and already crowned champion Chris. Chiz in 2nd position. That's going to get a bit confusing. Chris and Chiz in P.E.'s 1 and 2, respectively. We've got to be with the music. So let's see what happens if Ben is no longer in this race. We're going to see his entirety of the race here, starting from P12, I think, and let's see what happens from his view. This is the entrance of turn 1, and you see all the instant happening in front of him, and that's what KO'd him out of the race. This was on the original start, and he really just got in. He was just really a victim of other people's errors. So that was what caused the red flag, and unfortunately for Fanmaster, his race only lasted 3 corners. So unfortunate for him, he's really pumped up for this one. But maybe as he changes out of his overalls, he might be able to join us in the commentary box in the latter stage of this race. Chris leads still from Chiz from Yaki Akiyama swimming well on board with right now, and not even a still fine. Just one more. Go ahead, Chris.
4-way battle here in the top 4 here, and then it kind of, we're looking at some small battles. That looks like that's Noriaki Akiyama heading into the pits here. We're starting to hit that window where maybe some people on those mediums maybe put on, didn't change tires maybe when that red flag happened, although it looks like most did change their tires when that happened. So now the Akiyama, of course, goes on the hards. We'll try and squeeze those out for 19 laps. 10 laps on those mediums should mean 19 laps pretty easy on those hards. So be interesting to see how many more decided to pit in early. It's a pretty strong undercut here, so we'll see how many positions Noriaki Akiyama can gain if a couple more decide to stay out a little longer.
I'm sure the undercut really working in the Division 2 race early on. And let's see if Noriaki Akiyama is going to try and gazump these three who are still on the race, who are on the track now, on the tires. So we started to restart with, as you see, not Ethan, is wanting to try and size up his who's got DRS himself. And all this time, Chris has seemingly great pace out there, not just in the straights, but all around. But we'll see now if either Chris is or not Ethan decide to enter the pit lane. You think Chris would be more likely, considering Chiz and Ethan are on the hard tires. They can afford to go a little further. As not Ethan almost lost it on the exit of turn 14. Managed to scoop it up like a big old bucket of ice cream just on the exit there. And he saved himself from plowing into the wall on the other side. As we see, the lead three drivers continue on this lap. Noriaki Akiyama fell to 9th place after doing her pit stop and is currently a 3 seconds adrift off FIA right now. Let's see what her progress is in terms of catching the drives ahead. Chiz lost a bit of the back end on the exit. Now here's the DRS. What can Chiz do? Not much. Chris has got good overspeed unless Chris will try to dive up the inside. Won't try to do so. Pretty much on the breakout identical spots here. Chris has lost a little bit of traction on the exit and will decide to concede and not battle for the position. So Chris, lost probably pretty confident on the steer as position is made. So Chris, while Sweden getting their first goal in the World Cup, Chris has scored a good goal for himself. He started from the back of the grid and now he's in the lead of the race on lap 11. He'll be thinking of going into the pits. Chris might be doing the same. Not Ethan might be doing the same. As you see, Noriaki Akiyama has already gained a few seconds on FIA. So those tires are working very well. He decides to pit in as not Ethan tries to make a move up the inside. Well, he at least had a half look because Chris got a little bit out of shape coming out of turn 15, I should say. And you can see that not Ethan is dealing with a bit of damage. That was due to the incident he had battling for the lead with the McLaren, I should say, of Young Will, who sustained so much damage he decided to pit in, and is the reason why he's down in 11th position. So not Ethan is dealing with some understeer, which will do him pretty nicely on the straights. Let's see if he'll try and make a move for position. This goes a little bit defensive and quickly dissuades not Ethan of an overtaking move. Chris maybe losing a little bit of traction again coming out of turn 7. He's got DRS, so you can see he's gaining a little bit of slipstream from Chris and heading slightly further away from not Ethan. So you can see Chris's great line speed. Very much superior. Perhaps he's got the best line speed as he's shot off the door. Not Ethan is having a half look, but cuts off the front, the nose of not Ethan right there. Perhaps he might not been able to see his Chris has gone a little bit out of shape. Well, looks as though he's looking a little bit loose at the rear end. But whatever the case, Chris still has good pace, hanging on just within a second of the race leader Chris. Getting confused again. Race leader Chiz, and not Ethan is sticking with it. So even though he's got a loss of downforce, he's still hanging on with the 2 cars ahead. Meanwhile, Noriaki Akiyama has gone purple and set the fastest lap of the race. He's perhaps lapping about a second and a half faster than the lead drivers, especially Chris is seemingly struggling now. Not Ethan seemingly has got the better pace and got the aggression of these top 2 cars. Chris is dealing with his pace in P1. Chris, at some points, including here, so he's taking a bit of a tighter line coming out of turn 7, probably to make sure that he's properly straight as he accelerates onto and onto the coattails of Chris. Not Ethan. Oh, so eager, just wants to drive in and through Chris if he can. But Chris is gonna run up close. He's gonna try and make a move up the inside. He puts notice. Oh, it's just get a little carry
That's a
there.
spin.
That's Ethan a spun. And managed to reset himself. But yeah, that was Ethan in another battle in turns 13, turns 11 again. And it's cost him a bit of time and a 3-second time penalty for probably cutting corners there, unfortunately for him, as Chris enters pit lane. So Ethan, well, it looked like he's justified to try and chance a move there, and the faintest of touches between front axle and rear axle caused not Ethan to lose control of the car halfway and was trying to recover the position as Chris offs his 10-second time penalty. This is unfairly given to him for ignoring blue flags, in which, well, we had no blue flags. We had no car who was off, who was a lap behind. So he's unfairly had to serve that 10-second time penalty as well.
Yeah, so I didn't get a very good look at that, so I'm not sure if not Ethan was close enough to Chris's right side mirror there to be allotted space. So that'll be something interesting to see if that goes on after the race, to see kind of what happened there. Because if you are alongside of the driver's mirror heading into an apex, you are allowed space, so that'll be kind of the defining piece of information there between that incident there. But not Ethan, not really losing out too much from that incident, so not a large incident overall.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Noriaki Akiyama is up to 4th position and is almost caught Wendell Johnson, and is about 9 seconds down the road behind Ethan, and 15 seconds behind his as well. So that undercut has already worked in her favor. She's overtaking Wendell Johnson just now on approach to turn 5. So Noriaki Yakiyama is absolutely flying here, and Chase and not Ethan decided not to pit in straight away. So unless they are trying to go all the way to the end of the race on a hard tires, which would be ambitious from lap 3, the race victory is completely out of Chip and not Ethan's hands. And Noriaki Akiyama is looking very good for P1.
As we are joined by Average, I'm not sure if he wants to join on in. There he is. How's it going?
Well, from what
Well,
you've seen of the race so far, what have you made of it? All right, so we'll get a word from you a little bit later on. So now that Ethan's in the pit lane now, he'll be changing his front wing at last. Surely that was costing him some points of down short. So back onto another set of hard tires, and that front wing goes on. Interesting, he didn't decide to go into another set of medium tires, as he didn't have a new set that he could use. So, well, as you see, we've got yellow flags somewhere. I don't know if we had a spinner on the main straight. Yeah, we did. It looked like one of the points was, or the Red Bull was in the middle of a collision. So I'm not sure what happened there. Cosnus has a damaged front wing. So I can only assume that Cosnus was in a tangle with someone, and on the pit straightaway in turn 1, and has suffered with a damaged, as you can see, he's got a damaged front wing on him. So we might get the replay comment by either of the drivers involved, as we see Aqua Snipes pouncing up the inside of the Torb. Sorry, always getting my names confused. Smooth Operator up the inside into 7th position and taking the Mercedes. As you see Chris on the fresh new tires and showing a still in battle with not Ethan. So these two pitted
Oh goodness!
and again colliding a half spin. The pair of them. Well, you know what? Even though they pitted and had a 10-second time penalty on the front wing change respectively between Chris and not Ethan, they've still come out very close to each other on track and are still battling in the same section as they were in battle before. So this time they've got a couple drivers behind them, and it is a straight battle for position with a Smooth Operator and Aqua Snipes all in your picture. This is 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th positions with Young Will into the pit lane for the second time in the McLaren.
Definitely no love lost between those two, as Chris will get DRS all the way down, likely the next two straights here with good exits. So we'll likely have another shot at him heading into turn 9.
Yeah, screenshot that one. FIA has race control has given FIA a penalty. That's fantastic to see. Meanwhile, Chiz is within 9 seconds of Noriaki Akiyama, as we see not even showing the defensive method to try and assuage Chris's efforts at an overtake. So if he's trying to go for the long game, it's might have to back out of that one unless he feels confident. Meanwhile, with talking about confidence, Chris is going to try and make a move around the outside. Ethan will hug the inside line. Chris will have to duck out and try again. Gets a straighter exit out of turn 9 and is thankfully this time not close enough to engage in a battle through turns 10 and 11, because we've seen how that turns out in the recent few laps. But yeah, just mention again, his is showing somewhat good pace actually on very old tires as it stands right now. He's going to try and go surely to the end of the race and make sure he doesn't bleed the 8-second lead that he has in Noriaki Akiyama, who's on a fresher set of hard tires, which would go to the end, and I presume that she'll be able to push towards the end, but the gap is staying just under 9 seconds. So perhaps this has managed to manage his his hard tires. Either way, he's keeping good pace as it stands right now. 12 is in 3rd place. 4th is not Ethan, with Chris, Smooth Operator, and Aqua Snipes close behind. The McLaren of Young Will is in 8th position, 2.5 seconds behind. FIA is in 9th by 3 seconds, with Zephyr close behind in 10th position. Renault Johnson in 11th, and Cosmos will still be scoring 4 points, finishing in 12th position. If every driver finishes, they'll be scoring points in Avia Best Races League of Extraordinarily Average Racers. The point system goes down all the way to 15th place, and we've only got 12 drivers in the race. So every one of the drivers will be scoring as we watch Smooth Operator pounding the Williams of Chris, who is faded and lost about a second and more to not Ethan. Perhaps not Ethan starting to find pace and drive away from Chris. But yeah, Smooth Operator is trying to see if he can find any way to get past Chris, as Young Will set the fastest lap of the race. He's in the McLaren behind, and taking down the Mercedes of Aqua Snipes.
Keep an eye on the interval of Noriaki Akiyama up top. She's putting about 4/10 a lap onto Chiz's gap, so we'll have to see how Chiz can hang on to those tires, as we may get a late race battle between those two for the win.
Well, this is the battle for 5th position. Does a Smooth Operator decide? No, he decides to keep it. He goes tight for turn 6 to open up turn 7 to get on the accelerator as soon as he can. But Chris was on the accelerator as well. Managed to get good traction, and we know that Chris has perhaps the superior straight line speed out of everyone else here, because it took is about 7 laps before he could manage to pass an overtake. But Chris lost position out of turn, almost lost speed out of turn 9, and invited Smooth Operator to try and make a move through turns 10 and 11. So it looks like Chris is really struggling on the high speed, on the mid-high speed corners to get traction. As we've seen him almost become a victim coming out of turn 9 on multiple occasions. Young Will with another purple lap at the 25.9. He's entered the pit lane. Those hard tires, well, probably feeling a bit like bubble gum. And now he's onto the yellow marked medium tires. He's 12 seconds behind the lead. Noriaki Yakiyama is truly in P1 now, with Torb in second place by 10 seconds. But this is fifth, sixth, and seventh place is Chris, Smooth Operator, and Young Will. You got Young Will trying to go the inside so that window, so that door closed, and takes the outside line. So Smooth Operator looked like he just output himself, but Young Will's around the outside. Had to keep the position. That's what expecting in the exit of Turn 7. And now Poppy DRS is Young Will getting past. Well, Smooth Operator actually went off at Turn 7 as well, so he was struggling to control the back end of the car. So it ended up being a bit of a drag race between the pair of them. As we see, Chiz is already caught up to Always Blame Torb. So how quickly can he get past? Sorry, Always Blame Torb. Yeah. So he's already passed him. So Torb looked like he went wide at turn 16, and Chiz is through easily. So Chiz now has 9 laps to cut 10.5 seconds down on Noriaki Akiyama. So let's see if we can do that. He's gonna lap at about a second a lap. He's gonna afford to be about just under a second a lap, faster per lap, which means that he could measure himself a little bit on these newer tires. We got a spinner out of the back. But they believe that might be Zephyr who spun at turn 9 and lost some time. It's might not be. We got confirmation of who that was, as you see. We're looking at Smooth Operator, but it's a 2 ahead. He's got a public view of Young Will. Move on the inside of Chris. Here they go again. Chris leaves a bit of space open, both on the exit of turn 6 and also turn 7. Takes back onto the slip team. This has got the DRS as he tries to go around the outside of Young Will. Young Will to the title line. Break a little bit later. Is it too late? No, he managed to keep the position and the car in the middle of the road. And Young Will has fifth position, and Chris is now behind him. So a successful move made through turns 6 and 7 for Young Will to step up into fifth and Smooth Operator into the pit.
Into the pit lane.
Okay. Yeah, good spot there. I didn't notice that as I was seeing the action on track, and so yeah, Noriaki Akiyama ended up deciding to go into the pits. So that loses her holding positions. As Ghost has already gone up at turn 6. Was he involved in an incident where seemingly struggling to get back on track? So Cosmos unfortunately has fallen all the way down. All the way down to last place by a minute. Unfortunate for Cosmos there. Who has made a comment in the comment section on the Discord that he was taken out by one of the Williams drivers. So he's got a clip. So that FIA will still be busy at the even when the season ends in 8 laps time. We're looking at Torb, who is staying in the slipstream and only picking into gear 8 on approach to turn 9. So that perhaps demonstrates the free line speed that Chris has. Not got the best traction, Chris, and that is leaving him vulnerable coming through the following corners. So Smooth Operator is really on the back of Chris now. As you can see, the amount of time penalties each of the drivers have. Always Blame Torb with 9 seconds. That could drop him off the podium, actually. If Noriaki Akiyama, who's about 11 seconds away from second place, so she could still get a podium position. Probably had to pit in a couple of laps ago because her tires were going off. But she could still be getting a podium position at P2 if she takes Ethan's position. Yeah, as we see the Mercedes of Aqua Snipes having a glance at 9th place Renault Johnson. I'll try again to take the position. He'll get DRS on the back of the Quicksilver. as we focus on the closest battle on circuit, which is 6th, and 7th places. It's Chris and Smooth Operators. Young was left them behind in the McLaren and letting Chris and Smooth Operator battle for position. Smooth is one of 7 drivers who's got a time penalty, so he might battle hard for track position. Chris might not have to or might not want to. He doesn't actually need to battle hard for track position, knowing that Smooth Operator has a 3-second time penalty right behind. But definitely you can tell Chris where Chris struggles on the circuit is definitely sector 3. Managed to try and make it work as we see. The Mercedes is kicked. This is Torb, not Ethan, and Noriaki Akiyama. All through here, and then Torb has lost the position. Ethan goes through. And a bit of a clash between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. And it looks like Torb is struggling with something. He's lost 2 positions in the matter of 15 seconds. And not Ethan goes through to P2. Noriaki Akiyama is in the slipstream and trying to get at P2 already. DRS, slipstream, a bit of factory, and she was already through into 2nd position. On board with Smooth Operator in the slipstream of Chris. How defensive does Chris go? Not defensive enough because Smooth is already finding the inside line. A bit of roll touching there, roll hugging there. Barge force being used as the wheels touch, and they are side by side coming out. Chris will have DRS. It looks like Torb the pass has DRS actually on none of them did. Either way, Chris goes through back into 6th position, strong again with traction on the exit. Young Will and Torb battling for position, but Chris and Smooth are still side by side. They'll be entering turn 12, and I'm not going to see who's going to come out, but we focus on Young Will in 4th position, who is driving away as Torb looks like he might be entering the pit lane. So I'm not sure what problem he had as Torb goes into the pit. So he falls all the way down. He is looking strong for a podium, but he is going to fall well down the order. And to let my stop as he goes for the final 5 laps of this D1 championship.
What I have to say, what a recovery drive from Young Will early in the race. Had that incident and dropped him all the way to the bottom of the order with not Ethan there, and he's actually only 3 seconds back of him despite pitting early in the race. So just a great recovery by him. And also looking up, Chiz is just absolutely driving away with this on those mediums. Got those fired up, and he's way up there. Just lapped by the looks of it, Cosness. So he has quite a large gap, and it'd take a large mistake for him to drop out of the order here.
The Smooth Operator trying to make a move up the inside of Chris. Can he make it stick here? This was done hanging around the outside.
Wow.
And stand up as soon as he can. But Smooth Operator has successfully taken 5th position. A nice move up the inside as we've got a yellow flag at the final corner. Not sure who that is. It looks like it might be Cosmos who's parked it at the final corner or spun or has some sort of incident. The yellow flag is clear now. But Chris Story leads the race by just 10.8 seconds. Noriaki Akiyama on fresh tires. Looks like they're both on fast pace and not being the gap between those two is staying the same. Noriaki Akiyama has not Ethan close behind. Just above the 1 second mark, so not Ethan will be trying to push to get below that 1 second, but he does have a 3-second time penalty. He's 3 seconds, he's 3.8 seconds ahead of Young Will. As we see, as well as he literally pushing the back of the kick of Zephyr and literally punched him sideways, and they've both lost position. So that incident has done none of them any nicely, and FIA gets through unscathed and takes 2 positions as we see the pair of them right now. You see Zephyr has got a damaged front wing. Renner Johnson, I don't know if he's got any damage to himself as well, as FIA is now looking vulnerable. So this is Renner Johnson now, got to overspeed, and what does Zephyr do? He goes up the inside of FIA, and FIA is really low there, seemingly struggling and being bit off the circuit. as Cosmos, as Zephyr keeps the position, Ronald Johnson is right behind this overhead view, showing us the different lines that each of the drivers are trying to take. Well, Zephyr is struggling with front wing damage, and probably very stressed by that. Doesn't need a car punting him up the backside as well. So FIA is close by. This is the three-way battle. Aqua Snipes is trying to join in. Both the Mercedes are trying to. They are just over 2 seconds away. Aqua Snipes and Always Blame Torb coming through the final. The two turns corner 2 over there as we see what Wendell Johnson did. So it looked like a mix of Wendell Johnson breaking in deep and Zephyr taking a deeper line, an alternative line, which is entitled to do so. But the collision, was not warranted, and it lost them position as Wendell Johnson tries to make the move. Tries to have a look at making a move. Has tapped Zephyr's rear again. Zephyr made a bit of a defensive feint, which unsettled Wendell Johnson here. But let's see, going through turn 9, if Wendell can commit to a move. 3 laps to go, including this one. And a little bit of a touch again as Wendell Johnson was trying to tie the line. And he make a move, make it work. He goes wide and
Oh, wow.
And now on the Mercedes, Always Blame Torb, goes through and benefits them. Well, these two are fighting so hard they're actually working to the detriment of the pair of them. Zephyr has retired out of the race. He might have spun and crashed out. But Wendell Johnson was turning into a sumo wrestler there, made his car as wide as he could, and decided to say, get out of here to Zephyr. But unfortunately, he's lost him a lot of positions as well, down to 9th position. So FIA and Torb are trying to get away. I've got away with gaining positions without having to battle at all. Wendell Johnson, with all the damage there, and well, final few races of this championship, final few laps, I should say, of the final race, and even though there might not be so much on the line, they are battling as though they are trying to go for the race win. As Torb on his red smart set of the tires is showing the pace and getting through into 7th place. So for the final 5 laps, he decided to go on the red mark of tires, and he is gaining a load position. He seems to be in no man's land, but he's now into 7th. And 7th might be as best as he can get, although he's got 12 seconds worth of time penalties. So he might end up pulling a load of positions. We're on the final lap. Chase is coming through to turn 5 now with a 10-11 second gap to Noriaki Akiyama. And it surely is the fastest 4 drivers who are in those top positions. As we've got a car stopped on the pit straight. The yellow flag, so that won't cause any consequence. Yeah, it won't cause any consequence, whoever it is. But yeah,
That would be
Chase Noriaki Akiyama, and not Ethan and Cosness. These cars DNF on the pit straight and finding somewhere to park, but it won't matter any difference. It won't cause a VSC or safety car because we're on the final lap of the Division 1 Championship of Season 2. Focusing on Chiz, who's entering the final sections of the circuit right now. He came in to just about managed to scrape into Division 1 for his eligibility in the tryouts. And throughout the season, he got stronger and stronger considerably. So much so he ended up stringing along 5 consecutive race wins at one point, stormed to the World Drivers' Championship, and gets the victory on the last race in celebration style. Another last to first race win for Chiz 40. And an 11-second race victory for him. Noriaki Akiyama comes across 2nd place, 8 seconds behind actually, as young Will comes across the line in style and sideways for 3rd position. Not Ethan in 4th. With Operator in 5th position. Well, he's in some incidents as well, as was Chris in the 6th position. 7th will come, Always Blame Torb, by a gap of 3 seconds on track, but he will lose a lot of positions due to his 10-second time penalty. Wendell Johnson comes across 7th. Aqua Snipes actually takes 7th because of his penalties. And it looks like Renault Johnson 8th, Always Blame 12th, 9th, and FIA through in 10th position. So cheers, championship winner and race winner once again in this race. And there he goes. Look at him, Crip, walking on top of the podium. I'm not sure if you're allowed to do that in the Far East, but he's doing it anyway. He's doing what he wants because he can, because the champion can. So on the top of the podium, and alongside Noriaki Akiyama in the Red Bull as well, and Young Will in 3rd position. Oh, cheers, 40 almost getting a clean sweep. It was Noriaki Akiyama who actually got cleanest driver with a fast and furious race that she executed until she decided to pit in towards the end of the latter stages of the race. Second place for her, so a solid 20 points as well. And well done to cheers to Noriaki Akiyama and Young Will, taking the top 3 positions on the podium. Shout out to Not Ethan as well, who seemingly had great pace as well in the race, and obviously got pole position as well.
Yeah, another champion's drive there from Chiz. Purposely disqualified himself there in qualifying storms with a little bit of the help from the red flag. I think he gained quite a few positions off that race start, with a lot of that craziness kind of going on in the back. And then kind of really got off the line well on the 2 starts we had in that race, and there he went, finding himself with another victory. Interesting moment there for Noriaki Akiyama, pitting in on those hards. They must have been in some pretty rough shape to end up pitting on, I think, some brand new sets of mediums towards the end of the race there. But yeah, once again, just another really solid drive there from Chiz. Noriaki Akiyama, really solid drive from her, taking 2nd place. And then Young Will, also want to shout him out. He'd be my vote for driver of the day, despite Chiz, storming back all the way from the back of the grid. But I technically Young Will came from the back of the grid just as much as Chiz did, if not better. So great race from, or recovery drive from him as well.
Yeah, strong race from Young Will as well. Showed good pace throughout. In terms of Noriaki Akiyama, she finished 2nd in the race, and that 20 points means that she finishes on 132 points. So she gets ahead of Max, but not Ethan scored. He scored. Actually, he scored 17 points. So not Ethan actually finishes on 132 points as well.
Who
So
has more race wins?
so none of them won races. So the next count back will be due to the amount of podiums or 2nd places. Not Ethan. Trying to figure this out now. Not Ethan got 3 podiums, including today. Noriaki Akiyama got 3 podiums as well. Actually, my bad. Noriaki Akiyama won at
Right.
Austria. That's
Yes.
Monaco, actually. So Monaco, that Monaco victory means Noriaki Akiyama clinches 2nd place in the championship by virtue of that one victory. So she finishes on 132 points. So does not Ethan. But due to the first countback of race victories, in which Noriaki Akiyama got 1, as opposed to Ethan, who didn't. Noriaki Akiyama, who only joins this championship after race 5 properly, finishes 2nd in the Drivers' Championship. So well done to her.
And joining only, I can't remember, she missed a couple of races towards the season too. So really strong season throughout the back end there for her.
Yeah, let's see if we've got average still with us, and if anyone else wants to join us for a post-race conversation, invite yourselves, and we'll see if we have time to select you. But average, what did you make of the final race? Yeah, we did have good racing again. Like I said before the race started, there wasn't so much to play for because both championships were already decided. But each of the drivers drove as though um, they were driving for as many, for race victories on track and in position, especially young Will and Chris at multiple points during the race. Um, so it was good racing to see. Looks like the FIA job will still have quite a bit to do. Um, but yeah, let's see if we can get a couple of questions in. Let's see who we are willing to invite in. Red Letter. I wanted to step in. We've seen
Red,
Fan Matt as well.
he was our D2 race winner, and we didn't quite get to him with the championship there. So if he'd like to speak, he's more than welcome to come up. Yeah.
Yeah, championship winner.
Could
He's an
say
alright guy.
perhaps average at best.
Okay, we've got quite a queue of people. So who do we wanna bring in first? We got Fatmaster, we got Red Letter, aka Torb, and Cosness. We
I've
bring in
invited
Red Letter.
Torb. I've invited Torb. He declined it and then requested again.
Okay. Uh, okay. So um okay, let's get
Let's bring in
to
the yapper. Let's bring the yapper. Please.
Hello.
what? Okay,
Oh
I thought
wow,
you
okay,
brought
they
Hey
all came
guys.
in at once.
came in at the time. Great. Okay.
Hello, Average.
Hi, Average.
How we doing?
What's up, Average?
Hello, Jamie. Hello, Gray.
Hi, Jamie and Gray. I'm back.
Where's
Yeah,
Torb?
how's it? This
Yo,
has
hey, what's up?
become a conference call
Oh,
now.
there's Torb.
Okay, all right. So who we're gonna start with?
Me.
I guess Vince wants to go. I guess.
All right, Ben. Yeah, actually, let's talk about
You fix your mic,
what
Ben?
happened in the first stage of the race. Happened.
So basically, just chaos. Nothing I could do. I was already going too fast, and Torb was just in front of me. I hit him, and then, Jesus, uh, I don't think he could do anything either, and he just went into me, and that ended my race. But and the qualifying was terrible as well. My setup was terrible, just overall bad race.
Yeah, unfortunate. So, Tob, whilst you're here, what happened to you? Look like, did you get spun out, or what were you like? Well, I'll let you
Oh, I
explain
was like,
exactly what happened.
we went too wide into turn two. Me and I don't know who it was, but I was on the rumble strip. Like I had the rumble strip right next to me, and then he turned in, I think, a bit too soon or something. So I clipped the back of the guy next to me, and it spun me, and then I think they just crashed into me because I was in the middle.
Okay, well,
I'm from the UK. I'm from the UK. Yeah. But I live in Canada, so my Canadian accent's coming through a little bit.
Ha!
So it's probably a mix. It's a mix of both, yeah.
Love it.
yeah, no, yeah, the
But
people
like a
say he
little less
sounds like
British, yeah.
people say he sounds like Lando Norris. That's what the people are saying. Uh, yeah. Did we lose Cosness? He was in. Maybe
He's
he might
requesting
have.
again.
Yeah. We'll bring you back in. To speak. Well, it's become a conference call. Cosness, we got you back. Story of your race. It didn't look like it went well, especially in the second half.
So basically, what's happened was, so it was going good after the red flag. I made up a few positions, lost some, and then I got squeezed into the wall and lost my wing first time. I had to pit, and then again, well, I didn't know what Chris was doing, but I guess he was slowing down to let me by because I spun or something. I think it was, and then uh, I went into the back of him, and then the race just I was a bunch of spinning, locking up, and stuff like that. That's yeah, basically really my
Yeah,
race.
that's a unfortunate end to the season for you. It's pretty much the row of unfortunate drivers right here because Ben didn't get past turn three. Torb was spun out in the beginning of the race as well, and of course you, Cosmos, didn't have a good race throughout. But were you involved in any of the battles? Because there was pretty much a lot of battling going on. We might have missed some of the action you were involved in.
Yeah, I was in a battle with I think it was Eaton and Aki, but that's really it at the start of after the red flag. I was in a battle with them, and then I got squeezed into the wall. I think it was a Sauber that squeezed me into the wall. Um, after the back straight, that one straight, the chicane. After that one,
Yeah, we saw that. I think that was the incident with Wendell Johnson.
I think
In,
yeah, it was
in
one. Like it was a Sauber or Chiz. It was one of them, but
yeah, it was pretty. As I'm saying, each of the drivers, whenever they're in a battle, it was like you were battling for your lives out there. Um, was this? Were you taking this serious? Well, I guess it's gonna sound like a silly question, but was this a fun race for you, or were you taking it as serious as though this was a harsh, like a proper real race?
I was taking it seriously. Like I wanted to get some good points, and then it just usual getting taken out by people and spinning because of setup issues, stuff like that just ruins the fun.
Yeah,
But yeah,
well, yeah, yeah. Sorry, go on.
no, I was just saying I was taking it seriously until then.
Yeah, well,
Okay, bro.
oh, what about Torb and Ben? We'll get a last word for you. I'm guessing you were both taking it seriously as well, but did you enjoy the racing throughout the season?
I did. You know, especially Monza. And when I was in D2, that was definitely my favorite race. But overall, an okay season, definitely better than season one, and I'm looking forward to driving the 2026 cars.
Yeah, Torb, how about you? So Fent said his highlight was for probably Monza early on this season. Torb, what was your highlight?
Oh, my highlight? Probably Imola. I didn't expect to be so far ahead of everybody in P1.
Yeah, it was a good race from you as well. And Cosness, how about you? What was your highlight from the season?
Well, mostly, it was probably my last race in Abu Dhabi for D2, where I got my first podium. But nothing really else, except for also my first race in Texas. That's basically it. Other races were okay.
Yeah, good stuff. And well, while we're here with average, uh, from the racing that you saw, give us a bit of a review of your highlights or just final comments from the Division Two and Division One races. Yeah, we kind of had a bit of a fear that introducing a second division, we might have more of a disparity in terms of the quality, and we might have a lot of gaps between the drivers. But we probably had closer racing than we did in Division One. So in Season One. So that was really good to see. And as you said, everyone really took it seriously. Um, perhaps more seriously than a lot of us anticipated we would see from the beginning of the season. But it shows once you set up a championship, everyone is all in and ready to fight for whatever points that they can in whichever position they're in as well. We've got Not Ethan, who's joined us as well. Let's get a chat
Hello.
with Not Ethan as well.
That's my name. Yeah.
Oh, he's a dad.
No. No.
Hey, Not Ethan, you stole pole position. Well, I don't want to say you stole pole position, but you clinched pole position brilliantly in the D1 race just earlier. Um, how was the race for you thereafter? I mean, actually, start from the qualifying. How was qualifying for you?
Perfect. I didn't expect to be Paul. I just was like pushing hard from each sectors, and yeah, I just got pole position. Didn't expect that.
Yeah, you got it by quite a margin. And how about the race? The beginning of the race looked was a pretty close contest. Well, it seemed to be in a pretty close contest with um, anyone throughout the race. But just give us a bit of a run through of the race from your perspective.
Um. I just really don't know what happened there. I just made contact with Young Will, and I think he like spun and then hit me and then damaged my front wing. And then when I came on track, I almost hit a Red Bull. but at least it didn't ruin his race. So I think we're good. And yeah, at least at this point I didn't get podium, but at least we got fourth. Got good points.
You still got good points in the race as well. How do you feel like your year went? Oh, not year, but your season went overall.
Good. I just still need practice more about setups and stuff, but I'll soon. I will like maybe get some more podiums next season for the new 26 cars. I just need next season. I need to practice for the battery. I need to like manage the battery a lot, lifting, coasting each corner, and yeah.
Yeah. And maybe get everyone involved in answering this question. How's everyone feeling on the 26 cars? You feeling better than on the 25?
I'm feeling great. Like, you know, I love the 26 cars, and I'm feeling a lot faster. So I hope I can maybe get another podium next season, and maybe, hopefully, maybe, uh, be a championship contender.
Hey,
But
Finn,
I'm
calm down,
feeling
man.
real good.
Let's calm down, Finn.
I
Yeah, okay.
I think it makes for better racing, but I feel like it doesn't reward you as much for good driving as it does for battery management.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing.
For me, the cars, I feel like a lot closer to the rest of the grid than with these cars, as it's more on battery management. So you have more chances to make up places than in the 25 cars.
Yeah, and another
I vote Mad Ring to be on the season 3 calendar.
Oh no.
to be.
that's about to be chaos, yo. That one turn, everybody's dead.
I hope you guys do
Well,
D2 again. That'll be fun.
I'm good at it though. Please.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to have measuring. Surely
Yes.
twice.
Twice, reverse.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Average, do we get your approval? Is measuring definitely in for season 3? And while we're here, just have to give a big shout out to Examine Games as well, who's just been pretty much the engine of not just the league, but he's contributed so much to the running of the Discord as well. But without his contribution, we wouldn't be able to run the league as nicely as we do. So yeah, giving the flowers to Examine though, while we can, right here, because as we mentioned, he's done so much for the contribution and running the league. So yeah, gotta give a big shout out to Examined as well.
100%.
And to both
All
of you
right.
two as well.
Okay, well, I have a
Amazing.
demo derby lobby set up here. If I noticed some of you in here aren't quite in here
Invite me.
yet, so I'm not sure if you. Okay, I think I may have. But yeah, for anyone watching, we have a demo derby lobby set up right now under Gray 4037.
I heard you.
So yeah,
Yeah, and
we'll run that in about
yeah,
5
just
minutes here.
before we go, I'll give the last word to Average as well about his final thoughts on the season and obviously the promotion of uh the league, his channel, and the Discord.
Average is the goat.
That's,
Averages of
that's
10.
I'd say that's a fair comparison.
I would like you guys to take in consideration.
Agreed, go.
Exactly.
Fair enough. So, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I would like you guys to take in consideration, bringing back D2 for next season, just because I found it a lot of fun and everyone in D2 did as well. It was nice being able to have our own competition.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Honestly, yeah.
I think I could have beat him if I didn't DNF twice. I think
Might
there
have
were
to
Well,
five points I
disqualify
would have
some of those
won.
wins.
what we do is, yeah, we promote him to Division 1 and see him struggle. Easy as that.
Exactly.
Will I get
Exactly.
promoted? Will I get promoted?
We'll see. We'll see.
There's
We'll see how.
lots to be decided within the next month. Yeah. There's lots of conversations that still need to happen, and you guys will know as soon as we know. So yeah, just stay tuned.
Okay, thank you.
How long roughly will the break be? Like, I'm not just an estimate. Like,
Oof. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm waiting a year or
Well,
like a month.
no.
Not a year.
Do not start the new season in August because I'm going to Europe.
Start in August.
No, please don't. Please.
We'll think about it.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Well, this has been great. It's a shame that it's over, but I already can't wait for season 3 and the 26 cars. And as Average said, with the racing that we've had between everyone in this league, plus the battery management and the slimmer cars as well, the league racing that we might have in season 2 could be even more interesting. So
100%.
I'm looking forward to that. So obviously, whenever the season starts, every one of you will have enough practice in the 26 cars. So you'll be fully up and ready by the time by the time Average obviously decides to run Series 3. So season 3. So either way, can't wait for it. Hopefully, a lot of you guys stick around for however we decide to format the season 3. But we've enjoyed every one of you racing, and we want to see more of the same in the 26 cars for the next one. So you want us to become agony aunt is
I'll
what
submit
you
a
said.
few. I'll submit a
I'll
few.
submit a few if you want me to.
Okay.
Already on it.
All right, fine. By the way, my Sundays are going to be filled up with the World Cup, so yeah. So pass all your
FIFA
messages
League?
and your the
Sweden needs to win.
they're winning right now, 2-1. So looking good for them. But yeah, as I was saying, pass on all your grievances to Gray. He doesn't do anything on Sundays, so uh he can deal with everything that you've got going on in your lives. Gray's a
Can I just
good
say
listen.
also, Seven and Gray, good job with the commentating. It was really good for other league.
I agree.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks. All
Can I
right.
swear now?
Yes.
Um,
Can you swear? No, no, you can't. Keep it clean. Um,
yeah, I'm gonna win hopefully next season. A race, maybe the championship. But yeah, guys, cheer for me, please.
Fingers
Thank you.
crossed.
That's it. Okay. Yeah, so I have a demo derby lobby set up here. Everybody can ready up in there. And we'll run a couple of those if everybody wants, and we'll sign off for the night.
All right. Have a
We'll
good
see you
night,
there
man.
too. See ya.
Bye.